great. I can't see you over the sun. Peter, how are you?
Walk the sun for
Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome.
Thank you.
How's your year going so far?
So good. Looks like it's about to get better.
Yeah, it's about to get better. I hope you're going to enjoy this.
Well,
Sure we will.
Congratulations.
thank you.
I heard the news.
Yep.
Lauren is getting married, or is married.
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 She's married and honeymoon. So
Oh my
she
gosh,
says-
amazing. Where was the honeymoon?
Chile.
Chile.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's not necessarily the part that's known for mineral specimens, but
Okay.
beautiful spot for kayaking.
Kayaking.
Yeah.
How long was the journey?
About a month.
Wow.
Apparently we like each other,
Wow.
so we could do a month-long road trip.
If you can do a month-long road trip, that's a testament to a relationship. Oh my God, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that for you. Welcome. Enjoy. We've got lots of fun things in the cases. You've got some really pretty fluorites over here
Look at this.
with that really unusual color. And then I don't know if you can see that one from the top. It's a real cool penetrant twin.
Great purple in here.
I
overall.
love that. I love that Guerrero.
It's just on the matrix like that with the combo.
I did a project there over the last 3 years with some local people. I got big equipment in, funded the whole thing, spent a whole bunch of money, and found a whole lot of nothing. True story. I swear.
That's about chapter 17 of that.
I know. Everybody gets a hook for that mine. They're like, oh my God,
Yeah,
they could be amazing.
Yeah.
There's got to be more. I could be the one.
Yep.
I was not the chosen one. I'll wait 10 years and then throw it in the lottery again. If it doesn't show up, I'll try again.
Rumors are that you were the chosen one somewhere else, so you.
I've done a little bit of stuff, and
Yeah.
I've gotten lucky recently in a different part of the world, quite far away, but it's good. This is a remarkable piece.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Tindles come out like decades ago.
You know what they did? The very first time they came out, I was probably like, oh gosh, I'm dating myself, but I was probably like 24 was the first time I actually saw them. And I was in China in my partner's living room, and he put them in my hand. And he put like 6 broken crystals in my hand. And I'm holding them in my closed hand not to drop them, and I pick one up in my other hand between 2 fingers, and I'm looking at it in the light, and I'm like this, and this hand explodes. They are temperature sensitive, and they like snap, crackle, pop. And so I was like here like this, and then I felt this pop, and I was like, "Ah!" And I threw them on the floor, and they were all gone after that in lots of different pieces, and this one stayed. And from that, we figured out what it was, because I had never seen it before. And yeah, that was when they had the biggest find over that series of years. And then it was quiet at the location for quite a long time. And then recently, I'd say, this is vintage probably about 4 years ago I got this one. But just recently, they had a whole nother pocket. When I say recently, like, oh God, like a few months ago. And there were some nice ones. There's a really cool one that I saw with those same quality crystals, very sharp, and they're on top of a aquamarine. It's literally sitting on aquas, the classic aquas from this location.
Yeah.
Small piece like that, but one of those objects that's super efficient, where it just does everything you want in a perfect balance. So
Well, that piece in and of itself is fantastic.
yeah,
Especially with that mica association.
I don't know what the blue stuff is.
I was about to ask, so.
Don't remember. Yeah, it's some rare stuff.
So
It's like that stuff I heard from Mexico, Papa CPI, or
Prosopite.
that prosopite.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody loves prosopite, and I don't know if that's any variety. It's a similar color.
It's the right color for Catenosite, which is another one of those.
Catenosite. Another one of those
rare
prosopites
Yeah.
There it
varieties.
is. You don't fully know if they're just making up names at this point.
We rehearsed this. So we have more beautiful things here. Azurite from one of our favorite places.
Yeah.
Chalcosite's also beautiful.
And that Bristol chalcosite.
Yeah, you know, I can't believe I haven't sold that. I've had that for so many years.
And I'm pretty sure every single time we've ogled over it.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing.
It makes no sense.
It's such a classic.
It's a super classic. They're impossible to get. It's one of the nicest locations in the world for the species and the contrast with the little calcites. That just someone will figure it out. Hopefully, sooner or
And
later.
in the meantime, the rest of us are going to enjoy the fact that we get to come and visit a great old classic.
You get to see it all the time, or every year.
Great fluorites. I love the Ilvite. But,
Yeah.
I'm, as a scholar geologist, I'm especially fond of things like Ilvite.
And those yellow fluorites that are on the purple, that one particularly has a good luster on the yellow.
Yeah, on the yellow, and so it creates even more contrast with that more matte finish on the purple,
Agreed.
which makes them stand out.
Yeah, the luster combined with the color has that extra pop.
I didn't realize till sitting on the side of this that the purple, the earlier stage is yellow, and then it looks like the earliest stage is sort of a bluish color.
Under the purple?
Under the yellow, like on the side, there's like a purple and then a yellow and there's a bluish color. I hadn't seen that before.
I didn't realize that.
Fun things that you get to figure out
Fun things that you get to see.
Yeah, you actually stop doing crazy work long enough to pay attention to your own minerals.
There you go. Lauren Stoller is in our gallery as well this year, and so we're excited to have him. And this is the piece de resistance.
Just a few
Oh,
phantoms.
wow.
Yeah. So this is really cool. This is obviously, first of all, it's Himalayan, Indian Himalayan. Right? So this is some of the stuff that's been coming out. And I don't know what it weighs, but it's probably almost 200 kg. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And it is with chloride inclusions, and it's got so many wild things. I don't know if you can capture this kind of spiral. I think it starts here. There's like this crystal that's growing in, and it's got a stress fracture going round, which is, I've never really seen that before. And it's like a helix, but over here, like I've seen it in aqua. And then throughout the crystal, you have the incredible phantoms, and it's just a really beautiful crystal. Lawrence named it Echoes, which is apropos.
Wow.
Yeah, that helix doesn't seem to have any relationship
It doesn't,
to the rest
right?
of the
To the rest
crystal
of the
at all.
crystal.
And there isn't, and you don't have a symmetrical one over here. And I mean, there's weird veils over here.
There are some veils. If you look this way, it looks like there's another helix here, actually. I haven't spent enough time with this. So I don't know I wish I understood the lattice structure and how that happens, but.
Well, quartz has an interesting spiral structure. The fancy word is enantiomorphous.
Enantiomorphous.
Enantiomorphous. People are enantiomorphous too. It's right or left-handed.
Okay.
It's a question of which direction the spiral goes.
So that's not a word you made up either. You promise.
We don't know. I promise.
Okay. I trust Peter. For sure. Enantiomorphous. I learned a word that maybe you guys know. Do you know when a mineral and crystal is referred to as vicinali faces?
Vicinal faces in English.
In English.
So that's when you look at a big crystal face and you can see little pyramids.
Peter showing off. Yes, I did. I learned about it about 2-3 years ago from Federico, and he said it was from an Italian scientist who named vicinali, not vicinal.
And it's one of the easiest ways to look at a crystal and be sure that it hasn't been polished.
Exactly. And what the interesting thing is that I have systematically, like through my library up in my head, figured out that almost all species of minerals, regardless of which they are, that express vicinal faces have wicked high luster, like an unusually high luster. It seems they go hand in hand. And Federico explained some reason why that is, but it was above my pay grade. So
I'll have to ask.
We'll have to.
I'm actually going to write a paper about it, because it's something that I've seen systematically, and I think it matters, and people don't know about it.
Well, especially the implications there for identifying things that have been altered.
Yeah.
And as well as seeing whether or not something's had a polish added in.
Yeah, but it also tells you something about how the crystals grow, because quartz especially grows with a spiral pattern. And during the Second World War, when there was a huge demand for quartz for radio plates, looking
for their piezoelectric properties?
Yeah, but for those to work, it has to be an untwinned piece of quartz.
That's why the stuff from McEarl didn't work.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when the USGS was studying it, one of the things they looked at actually was the relationship between vicinal faces and whether the quartz was twinned and was going to work.
So that
Because they were looking for quick ways to discard
stuff, so they could identify at site. Go, that's not going to work. This might work.
Yep.
That's fascinating. I had no idea.
The more you know.
The more you know. This is a fun piece that we used to have in our gallery. This is really cool.
Oh, look at that color.
Well, what's great about it is the fluorite formed, and then it had a cast grow over it.
Yeah.
And then the cast, something etched away the fluorite, and the quartz is still intact where it grew. So there's there's a whole little world inside under that quartz. That's pretty fun. And then I think this quartz is a later stage than both of those, but I'm not sure. I wasn't in the pocket when it happened.
Well, but
Thankfully.
you can look around the edges where the contact is between this coarse stage and the finer stage, and right in there you can see these big crystals growing over and against this smaller.
So it is later.
So we call that a cross-cutting relationship. And that tells you which is which came first.
Cross-cutting relationship. We've got all the terms this year. There'll be a glossary added at the end of this so you can look things up. Exactly.
Well, they say that in geology you learn more words in the first year than you do in 3 years of a foreign language.
Wow. Okay.
So
I believe that.
And that's why my job is translating geologist into English.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. We translate geologists into English. This is fun from Mouson mine. I love those.
the color on them is just so good.
Yeah. And that's why I've kept my hair all these years. It's the radioactivity. It helps. Hair growth. Who knew? No, I'm kidding.
I was supposed to.
You should buy one.
I had one. I had one for years under my bed. It did me no good.
Oh my God. So fun. So, obviously, I think you've heard about the new discovery that we had.
Yeah, so I keep hearing about it. I've been told about your great presentation at Socorro.
Mm-hmm.
Heard about people who have seen it. I have specifically stayed away from this.
Okay.
Because
You've avoided it.
because I wanted to see it in person.
Okay.
Right? Because otherwise I'd be seeing photos of it, and then so I've been really excited about this.
Well, you're about to be engulfed in gold.
And by the way, congratulations on like the idea turning into reality.
Yeah, it was almost 7 years now in the making. And it was, I was riding the wave of not understanding what it takes to mine. And so I talked to Brian Lees and I looked at Sweet Home and I was like, oh, he went in there and he put some equipment in and they worked hard and found some amazing rotos. I didn't take for granted. I took for granted that, he went to the School of Mines and he had geologists, and I just know what pretty crystals looked like for the most part. And so I was doing Patinera and I'd seen what came out of there, and that put me in a position like, oh, look, they're just finding stuff. I had no idea that little episode was a bonanza of production for a geological spot in the mine that would never be replicated. And so as I was buying these pockets of tourmaline and turning them into selling them into the market, I was always expecting there'd just be more. We could just mine more, which is why I bought Patinera. Little did I know there was no more lithium in the new ore deposit that we drilled, and we found nothing and spent, 7 years of my life chasing a dream that never came to fruition. But at the time, before I knew that, we looked at Eagle's Nest, and we acquired the mine in 2018. And so we spent the first probably 3 to 4 years rejuvenating the mine, because it was in a state it was totally dilapidated. And all of the agencies had their wishes of what they wanted checked off and what boxes and requirements we had to meet if we were going to make it an active mine. And that took 4 years. And then once we got all set up and everything was good, we were about to start mining, and the transformer that PSE&G had down the hill from us had a little twitch, and it created a fire and burned over the whole mine. And so we lost our excavators, and we lost our compressors and our generator and all the equipment that was outside. We were spared. Luckily, the drill jumbo was underground, along with some other equipment, so we didn't go totally south. But we then had to deal with that. You couldn't get to the area for a couple of months. We couldn't even get to the mine. It was just like, I have crazy videos of Keith driving down the road and the fire coming over, and he's like, forget it, the mine is lost, and he backs up, and you know, it's crazy stuff. So then we got everything fixed. We went back, and after mining, once we got to the location where we thought we could have some production, we spent probably about 1.5 years, and we hit the first pocket. And that is the Valentine Day pocket, which we hit last year on Valentine's Day in 2024. And so then I had this idea. I'm like, wow, you know what? We have the ability to document where we found it, when we found it, who mined it, where in the mine it was, what time of day, you know.
What they had for breakfast.
All of that was something, and that was something like I realized was powerful, that I tried to document with Paydinera the best I could, but having gone through that process, I was pre-gamed to be able to do this in a different way. So with video and cameras and notes and, you know, systematic, you know, diligent record keeping, we were able to, you know, track what was happening and then present it to collectors in a way that they had not seen that A to Z before, from, you know, inception of discovery and how long it takes to get there, to recovery, cleaning, prep, photos, and then finally display right over there. So those are the fruits of the labor.
That is amazing.
And so a lot of people have said that they've never seen a showcase like this ever in history, with so many pieces that are of such a high caliber assembled from one production. I don't think the last time there was a significant discovery like this that I would say that is on par and displayed as a group was probably Brian's Sweet Home discovery when he did that thing in Denver and people had to take tickets and wait outside J Row. I think you probably were.
I wasn't in existence, but I've heard.
You weren't even born.
That was 90. That was 92, wasn't it?
It was 90. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to pull that kind of find out, when Harvey Gordon brought out the pyromorphite in Bunker Hill, same kind of thing.
Same
you
kind
just
of thing.
go in the room and it's just, oh my God.
I actually had another one and I just thought about it. It was when you said it triggered the green pyromorphites the first time.
That's what I'm talking about, the greens, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
mine, the green
greens.
Chinese greens that I had at the Daoping. I had a whole room of them.
I know. So you called up one afternoon and said, is Lauren around? And I said yes. And you showed up at the house with a whole flat of little busted crystals. And you said, this is for Lauren to sell from her table outside your room.
I remember that.
And she did that, and then she came back and spent the money on a Geolite from you.
That was the same year you got the Geolite?
The year after.
The year after. Okay. I love that. Amazing.
But, I mean, back to, I'm sorry, like, I literally have, like,
Brian? Is that helpful?
This is
monumental.
I'm struggling with words, which is not usually a problem that I have, but I feel like these justify it. I mean, what is this like for you to see? You know what? It's an idea come to reality.
It's so gratifying, and you know, after our stumbles with Paydinera and the losses we've had there, and after Mozambique, which unfortunately we had some tragedies at the mine recently where we were doing great, and unfortunately some things went sideways, and now we have to rebuild that. That's a whole other story. But to be able to do this and have it to come to fruition it gives you a new sense of purpose, and it also gives you a new sense of excitement. It's a dose of serotonin. You look at them and you're just like, wow, this worked. And to be honest, we're not even cash flow positive yet. I mean, this doesn't put us over the hump. We've invested more than we will gain from this pocket, but it put us a heck of a lot closer. And now hopefully Murphy's done messing around with us. And
I'm going to knock on some wood for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's knock on wood right here. And, we will be able to continue mining at a reasonable pace and hopefully find one or two more discoveries that will put us in a position where we can actually say that the project is a full success. So we're so close. And for me, it is a success, meaning even if economically we lose and we never find anything again, this the fact that we were able to do this is rewarding enough.
Well,
and I'm blessed to be in the economic position that I can do that. Not everybody who does mining can,
right.
Obviously.
And this is another serious chapter in your legacy in terms of, things you've been responsible for bringing into the mineral world. From the King of Kashmir and this and Pedinera.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a track record.
Thank you. Yeah. It takes a huge team. I was giving a talk last night for a small group about this project, and I started off just by thanking everyone, from my partner Marissa and her diligence and help with the oversight of the mine, to the pearl in the project, which is Keith Wentz. Without Keith, there is no mine. Mm-hmm. You can have all the right ingredients, the right geology, the right potential, the right resources, the right, political environment and the right country and everything that you need. But if you don't have the person who really cares, who's going to be there, who's going to watch it like it's theirs and take it, one step further, then you have no project. And without Keith,
you have to have that champion.
You have to have that champion, absolutely.
And it sounds like he absolutely is. And wow, I mean, my brain is kind of stuttering on which specimen is like.
Yeah, a lot of people have their favorites already, and it's been really fun to share with the community.
How do you pick a favorite?
Yeah, I don't know. People, you'd be surprised. Some people just automatically,
they just go. Drawn to
they just go. Yeah.
And that's when you have this much variety. You can actually do that.
Peter, Lauren, smash and grab.
Smash and grab. Which one are you taking?
They have this game.
Oh. Peter goes for the center one.
That was the one I was originally thinking.
I love the makeup. I love the crystallinity. I love the luster and the color on it. Obviously, size has something to do with it.
That was funny. That was a whole conversation last night, and people were like, "Of course, that's the one. Size matters." I was like, "Okay."
They're all marvelous, but to me, that's the iconic piece out of the pocket.
Well,
although there's one or two of these smaller ones down here. I mean, this leaf crystalline piece down here with the big flattened octahedra, that's really special too.
But also look at this one, which has the flattened leaf at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And the geometry.
I actually collected that one with Marissa together. We actually did it. Yeah. So this was, I spent my life, and part of it has been the passion of being there for the thrill of discovery and actually finding something extraordinary, something meaningful, something that moved the needle. And I got close at Pedinera. I got close at Golconda. I got close in Africa. I got close everywhere. And I mean, just half an hour after production. But I was never in it while it was happening until now. And when I was in there, I arrived and I was like, okay, I'm a mother hen. I'm like, we're going to do this slow. We're going to do this carefully. We're going to take them out really carefully. And then after about a half hour, I totally forgot about that. Got gold fever. And I'm freaking banging shit like this. And Keith comes over and he goes, we got time. You can do this a little slower. He's like, you might want to take some toothpicks and watch work over here. And I was like, okay, there you go. And so the whole dynamic changed, but it was a wild experience.
Anybody who says gold fever doesn't exist has never been around.
You know what we were doing last night? We were doing this. So I'll tell you that the mine produces gold that is not potential for specimens.
Uh-huh.
And so we get mill rock. It helps offset the production, or not the production, the costs.
Yeah.
By almost 50% of our monthly cost is compensated by what we find as mill and that we can turn into mill. And when you put that in someone's hand, they just go, ooh, I like the mill. Exactly. I had to struggle to get some back last night, I have to tell you. You should check them out. They're fun.
This is just don't
Yeah, here you
don't
go.
piecemeal it.
Isn't that cool?
It's gold.
It's gold.
It's what gold does.
It's what gold does. So yeah, gold fever is real. So these are our bars as they come out. We smelt them ourselves, and we have 2 molds, a 5 and a 10 ounce, and they're not exact because each time you pour, it's a little different. And the gold from here is about 87.4% gold, and the other is made up from like a couple of other elements, mostly silver.
Mostly silver.
Yeah, silver is like the difference with like micro traces of.
Is that 87 considered high?
Yeah,
870 fine is pretty high.
Yeah, it's high. It's relatively speaking, yeah.
Sorry, I gotta break the fourth wall here.
Yeah, now you've got the gold fever.
There you go. You couldn't put it down.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
It's amazing how.
That's brilliant.
It's fun, right? So then someone gave us an idea. I think it was Crystal, who works for us, last night when we were playing with these, and she was like, you should make these in small sizes, like chiclet sizes, and make them into jewelry. She's like, people will love this. And we mentioned that, and everybody was like, oh, we all want one. We all want one.
Yep.
So super fun. And we're playing around with the stamping and trying to get it accurate. And these are actually, I like these better than the polished bars, like the highly, because this is like more rustic and more, speaks more to the history of the mining area and what you'd expect from there, as opposed to like a pressed coin or a pressed bar. You know, they evoke some sort of nostalgia for me. So
Pre-nostalgia.
pre-nostalgia.
You're doing it right now.
Exactly. It's pre-nostalgia. I know. It's gold.
Well, this is what we do.
Have you ever
professionally.
seen what is the duck? What's his name? I used to watch this cartoon.
It's Scrooge McDuck when
Scrooge
he
McDuck dives into the
his-
gold.
It's the big old pile.
When we started this, I understood exactly why he felt that way. Oh my gosh. So fun. So yeah.
Lauren, you haven't said which was your favorite.
Yeah, that's true.
This is getting. I mean, I just actually really like this specimen
That one's great. And
because to me it looks like an explosion, but simultaneously it's like the scene from the Hercules movie where Pegasus is on his first flight and he's launching through the cloud. There's like a very specific like.
I know who bought this. Was sold last night. These 3 were all sold already. And there's a few others in here that were sold. But this is another thing that you have to keep in mind. So we sold about 5 pieces that are better than everything you see here from this pocket. And you'll see those in my little presentation. I'll go through it quickly because it's a long presentation. You saw it in Socorro. But we can pick out some highlights and you can add that in however you like to cut it in. And I can give you the presentation to do that and put it in. But the 4 or 5 best ones are amazing and they're not here. But if you think about it from a worldwide standpoint, you know, there's no other mine producing crystallized gold like this any longer. There are other mines, but, you know, Red Ledge is not doing anything. Colorado Quartz Mine's currently closed. Mockingbird's closed. And so you have Eagle's Nest that produces at this quality level. And for that to have, there's 17 specimens in this case, plus the other 5. And this is a historic discovery. So we're looking at like, you know, 25 pieces total, more or less.
A couple of dozen.
Yeah, a couple of dozen. So, you know, when you distribute that out through the world, it seems like a lot right here, but it's actually nothing considering what the collector community is worldwide and how they will just be gone. And it's funny, we were mentioning, but the 3 out of the 4 discoveries that we're talking about, where it came all out at once, this, Sweet Home, the pyros that Hopper had, and the pyros that I had, 3 of those are American projects. It's interesting. So, an ode to the mineralogy of the states. Why I was going to show you this one is fantastic is because it's got so much depth. If you, I don't know if you can get it, but there's this huge octahedron there. And then as you turn it, you see that giant diamond inside there. You see that super well-formed octahedron stuck on the back there with that like sort of wet luster. And there's another one tucked down over here.
It's just, it's got such a dynamic aspect to it that it kept catching my eye, and I was like, it doesn't have as much matrix as the other, but I love it.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites in the case, for sure.
The one that you guys, you know, collected is...
And this was fun. This took a good hour or 2. And one of the other ones that we collected that you'll see here is One of my favorite things. Do you want to watch this for a minute?
Sure.
So I'll go fast. This is, that's where we are in the Tahoe Valley in California, just north of Sacramento. That's some info about the mine. That's sort of where we are in the Forest Hill area. That's some of the geology. It takes a minute, I guess, for it to get, or maybe this is, yeah, it's just not a clear shot, but it's bound by two faults, and that's the geologic body that has all of the quartz veins and the contacts. Those are our claims. All of the material that's come out historically from this area came out from these two claims, the Big Seam and the Red Ink Maid. So it's not all this area. And that was called Eagle's Nest for the reason that there was an eagle that had its nest nearby. But the names of the claims are actually the Red Ink Maid and Big Seam. So it's almost a misnomer. There is no Eagle's Nest mine, but we branded Eagle's Nest because that's what everybody knows.
Yep.
I know everybody has historically known. These are the quartz veins they form in, and this just shows that they can lens. These are the different levels. These are the vertical contacts that we project onto all of the levels of quartz, and the contacts carry the gold, and it displaces into the quartz. And once that quartz gets overwhelmed on one particular area, it carries up to the next level of quartz and displaces there and continues up. So if you mine on one level and you find contacts and there's gold bearing in those contacts, if you in the quartz vein, if you go up a level and you follow that same contact, because the contacts go all the way up to the surface and they go all the way down. We are down at the 500, the minus 500, and we think it's an orogenic deposit, so it probably goes down thousands of feet. Getting down that low becomes a whole different cost, so we probably will never get there. But there's potential for that in the future. And so when you go up to another level where they haven't mined a particular contact, if you mine to that contact, there's a good chance you might find gold. That's some of the layout of the tunnels. Those are our blasts. So every one of those different colors is a round. We track that. That's the haulage round. And you can see that's quite a lot larger because that's where we brought the drill jumbo in. So we brought it in on the minus 200. And this is where we found the pocket in this round, in 6 and partially into 7. And that was on February 14th, Valentine's Day in 2024. These are the contacts that are coming up. We're looking in an overhead view, and you're seeing the round. That one round is about 10 feet is what we shoot, and this is right where we found the Valentine's Day pocket right there, and you'll see it more here in a second. And this was the vein, and this was the vein, and these are projections from lower workings. So we don't know that that's there. We hypothesized that it's there, and we could see this contact is falling right in line with where they had historically mined. So we didn't mine this area. So it makes sense that these connected. And we did. We proved it. It did connect. So our projections are pretty good. There you can see where we have each of the specimens that were found. So those are the notable specimens. And so we have names for those. That's what it looks like after a blast. This is the face. This is the cap rock. So we blast only down, leaving about 2 to 3 feet of rock that's not broken into bits, and that's the quartz vein, and that's where the gold can displace. And one of the big misnomers is that all Eagle's Nest gold is etched out of quartz, and it's not at all. The best pieces, and 70% of the best pieces behind you, all formed in little pockets, totally flowering out of the quartz.
Which explains the crazy luster.
Which explains the crazy luster. And you have everything in between. If you have crazy luster on gold that's expressing itself outside of the quartz naturally, and you follow the gold in and you remove more of the quartz through the lab, sometimes the luster can continue. Sometimes it gets worse. Sometimes it's worse on the outside and gets better when you go in. It's every recipe. So there's no rhyme or reason, but I would say if you were going to put an average, the more it's out, typically it seems it has a higher propensity for higher luster, which is important in gold because it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
There you can see the floor. Now we've collected the whole thing. That's the seam. We're going to do another round. We keep the seam on the floor and we'll work it out. And this is where we collected. These are 2 contacts that we found. And this was the Valentine's Day pocket And this is one contact that produced the majority of the specimens came from here. And there was one fabulous octahedron that came from there that I realized I don't have a photo of in the slideshow or handy. This is a video showing like the tailings and the mill and how we make the bars. There's some of the pan gold that we get when we clean up. Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
I was correcting it, but that was.
Oh, yeah. Trying to find the remote. I can turn it up a little. Because Keith is funny. So this is, we track how much we get from each round. That's our sluice.
Wow.
We'll be a lot. Bulgarian will work like that all the way across. Yeah.
He's leading the witness here.
People doing pretty good, yeah. Moss down there, that blue stuff, quarter-inch thick. This piece of moss is probably going to weigh 30 pounds or something. It's there. Let's look at the next one. Christmas Day, isn't it?
Oh.
That is just the most solid, dense pack.
Thank you. So you get an idea.
It's an incredibly efficient riffle system.
It is.
Because the gold is so coarse
Mm-hmm.
and the quartz is pretty well crushed up, so
It works really surprisingly
drops
well.
out very, very quickly.
Yeah. There they are. That's Keith and Don. Don's a miner, assayer for 50 years in the district, and he has his own little setup at his home, and he works for us for free. He just loves to play with gold.
Yeah.
And
Oh, gold fever.
gold fever,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's some bars that we put together. Another little stack, and those are the ones that you saw in there. So this is the discovery of one of the pieces that's not here.
Straight to the mill bucket.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Daniel, you're a happy man, brother. All that work pays off.
And so this really shows that they just form in the quartz. And I mean, you can see the high luster, and these have like these almost like leaf
Yeah.
aspects to them that's crystallized, flattened octahedrons. And we're going to do a little study about all the different crystal habits that we find there, because I don't know enough about crystallography to understand everything that my eye is telling me that I see. So we're going to talk to some people that know. I think Terry Wallace is going to do a little work with us and give us some ideas. But I mean, this is a testament to it's not grown in quartz and etched out. It's just emplaced in voids within the quartz vein in a lot of instances. This is one of the videos that got us on a plane. You can see the gold just outcropping. And when we saw this, we were like, okay, time to get on a plane.
So based off of the timing, were you in Tucson when you were getting these videos?
It ended, like Tucson ended like days before. We started getting the videos on the 14th and the 15th. They were closed for 16th and 17th with a Saturday, and we were there on Monday. And then we resumed they had collected about half the find on the floor, meaning half of the round. And we showed up, and then Marissa and I and Keith and Ian Merkel, who's also an integral part of this, he's our geologist, and so he's helped keep us on track. He creates those beautiful images that show the geology. He maps it and helps us try and find which direction could be the most valuable for us to put our, make sure the juice is worth the squeeze, put our dollars to a place where we can potentially find.
So how much does a metal detector help you?
Huge. Well, a metal detector helps once we have opened up the floor. So once we get the floor open, then we detect literally, and we follow and see where the largest targets are. And we're trying to figure out what they are. They call them pecker tracks, which are little tiny bits of gold in the quartz that are not worth turning into anything other than mill. And then when you have a real target, and when you hear it, there's a distinct difference. Yeah.
So how much penetration do you get with your?
Well, the seam's only a couple inches thick usually.
Right, but how much overhead rock can you see gold in the seam?
Not a lot.
No.
You can't go too deep. And if you use a really refined instrument that can go deep, it'll give you the signal, but you have no idea how strong that is relative to when you get close to it. So you have to, and that's what we keep cap rock. We remove that cap rock. You'll see it in a second. So there I am detecting Keith and I and Marissa, and we're looking in the floor in the quartz seam, and it looks like this because it's all dirty and everything like that, and you're trying to understand what's going on. And you use the detector to figure out what you're doing. And then that's that cap rock right there that we leave in place, and then we go under and get to the quartz, and we mine that out, and we break this out. We purposely don't blast that into bits because we don't want to disturb the quartz. So it's like a buffer zone to protect it. And this was another one that's in that showcase. I mean, you can see it right there. It's on the second one in from the left, and that's exactly how it comes out. Yeah, that's that.
Oh, wow.
So cool. And we use, conductivity to test if pieces are connected. Do we need to glue them to try and preserve them? It's a whole process. This is a fun one. Have you seen this? Lauren hasn't. Peter has.
I have, yeah. But I don't mind seeing it again.
There you go. We'll stop here afterward because it's a long thing, but. So there, what we're doing is we're washing between the seam. That's the entire quartz seam. And this is what we're after. This becomes one of the greatest specimens that the mine produces. It's arguably in the top 3 that came out. And so there's like a slip between the slate on the top and the bottom. There's like a mud plane. And sometimes this quartz is really hard like this, and sometimes it's all broken into bits naturally on its own.
Yep.
I was going at this. This took about 4 hours to get this piece out. It was the last piece we collected from the pocket. It was the end of the day. We were all exhausted. And I said, we're not leaving until this is out. And I started to get impatient. And I just started wailing on it. And again, Keith, man comes to reason. He's like, oh, so we've reverted to just brute force now. Okay. He's like, why don't we try some wedges? And there you go. So that's getting it out. And there's Keith. He's about 6'4". And so this whole piece is almost 3 feet. And it's all for that little spot right there that we can see. And we can see other aspects of gold inside. And so they had a wing over here that we sawed off because it was thinner than the overall plate. This is about 3 inches, and then the wing was only about 1 inch. So we could actually stick a flashlight under it and light through the whole thing and see there was no significant gold. So we cut it off to make it easier to transport. Oh, went too far. Then we x-rayed it so you can see where the gold is, and you can see all of this gold. That's what they call the pecker tracks. That's no use. You could turn it into micro specimens, but the energy to do that, it's not worth it. So that goes through the mill, and that becomes our mill rock. And it's A-grade mill rock because it's relative to the quantity of quartz to the amount of gold. You're getting gold mines would love to have that ratio. I would love to have that ratio en masse, but we don't. We don't produce that much. We probably produce maybe a ton of ore material a month. So, and we can get between, probably 20 to 50 ounces a month from that 1 ton. Anyway, so here you have the piece right side by side, and then here's the process of bringing it to a specimen. We protect the gold itself with wax, so it gets covered with wax. We start to work on the matrix, sawing it away, cutting out bits to make it smaller and proportionate. Here it's really starting to take its shape, And you can see these are actually formed quartz crystals, terminated crystals in here. There's a bunch of them there, etc. And the piece is now in the position that we want it. We removed the back overburden. And that's what it looks like when it's done. That's one of the world's great golds. The level of crystallization, the isolation of the crystals. Look at that crazy.
It's just,
Yeah.
these guys,
Just wild. And the luster.
and the fact that it's on like nice quartz.
Mhm.
Just,
Yeah, it's a little pocket. It formed in a little tiny pocket. There's little crystals in there. And if you had it in your hand, you'd be like, wow. So yeah, it was a very rewarding project. Probably the most rewarding from that aspect. And, you know, it's a testament to the team there that's on site, our team, Marissa's oversight, because she's very involved in the mines, FMI, because it's our whole team that makes this possible. You know, there's so many moving parts that people have no idea. From ordering the right chemicals, to getting the stuff in, to James's photography, to Joe Budd working to lay out the x-rays, to David Perez, who runs the lab, who has figured out the, you know, master science at preparing these things. There's so many people involved. It's a lot. Myself, I do a little bit of all of that stuff. It's a task. And to have this year is,
and to have all of that turn into, I mean, it just mind blowing.
yeah. All right, we can stop here. We don't need to look at any more minerals.
Yeah.
We're done.
Done.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Gonna need a while for like the tingles to stop and the fingers. And...
It was a very fun project. All right.
You say that in the
continues
past
to be.
tense.
It is a very fun project. You're right. We're still going. Sometimes you forget. It's like, wow.
I just realized it's in Forest Hill.
Mhm.
Do you cross the Yankee Gym, the old Yankee Gym Bridge to get there?
Yeah.
So that run right there was like my go-to kayak run
Oh, really?
when I was in college. And
There's I think you call it Fish Camp is down there. Do you know Fish Camp?
yeah, but that's the lower section.
Yeah.
But like the section above that.
Where the bridge is. Yeah, it's right there. You cross right over it.
Just think how close you were to all that
You were
gold.
close to gold. All right.
Oh, what an amazing case you put together. That's
you.
just
It's really exciting. And it's going to be on display up at the TJMS for the club show at the end
Very
here.
much looking forward to that. We thank you very much.
Absolutely.
It's
It's going to be rewarding just for everybody to get to see it.
going to be.
I think it's going to be a buzz.
I think the amount of drool around that is going to be incredible, and the nose imprints.
Yes.
Like you can tell how popular an exhibit at the Tucson show is by how many little nose prints you have at this level
About that level?
from all the little kids, because they just
Well, and this is going to be in a group of about 6 cases
Uh-huh.
that are going to include everything from a 90% complete juvenile sort of velociraptor type dinosaur about this big
Wow. I
to
can't
a
wait to see
100
that.
to a
That sounds great.
57 kilogram lunar meteorite, which is one of the 2 or 3 biggest ever found.
Wow.
The Hooker emerald from the Smithsonian. Your golds.
Ooh, you
A
guys.
rainbow of gem crystals from Gene Myron.
Oh, you guys are going all
So
out
it's-
this year.
it's-
This is
well,
an exciting year.
It should be pretty impressive.
and then the real fun thing is going to be, how do you ask someone in that,
Mm.
which is your favorite exhibit case in that pod?
I know.
But
You don't need to.
the space freaks can point to the lunar meteorite. The dinosaur freaks can point to the dinosaur. The face-centered cubic metal freaks
Was
can
he going
point
to say
to
we were
this.
freaks?
They're all freaks.
We're all freaks. I was waiting for it. I was like, are we freaks too?
And then there's the acknowledgement that
Yes, we
Yes.
are.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Well, freaks of nature require freaks of nature to appreciate.
There you go. That is true.
God, they're just.
Yeah, it's
But there
fabulous.
are other minerals in this gallery.
There are.
This
One or
is the
two.
only thing.
Where is it?
Because like that,
Okay, we can look at a
this
couple
is this
more.
is where most people just like be like, yep, I've achieved it for the year.
This is fun. So
Oh,
this
That's
is
gorgeous.
our
Cool technology.
our technology. So a lot of these tourmalines and other species of minerals they require backlighting, and we've always tried to like put backlighting from like goosenecks or bouncing light off the back of something, or putting backlighting from up around the top of the case to try and shoot it. And some minerals are large enough where that doesn't really work well. And so we developed a system to actually apply the light onto the mineral, disguise it in a way that it's all painted by an artist on the back to make it look like it blends in exactly the color and style of the mineral. And we've created our own lights that don't create heat. So there's no stress on the crystal from temperature, and you get the illumination that you want. And it's a labor of love. It takes a lot of time. It can take up to 2 to 3 months to do one piece. Mm-hmm. And we only have one person who does it, and an assistant, a conservator that helps do the artwork afterward. But it's becoming more popular, and it brings to life crystals like this that have this incredible internal color range and beauty that you can't capture easily in a showcase. And so it's sort of the evolution of display for specimens. You know, we are pioneers in developing the showcases here and the lighting, and this is another step in the evolution. And this is thanks to our mount team. Lauren Pineda is the head of that, and her team are incredible at creating mounts of all sorts and lighting. It's impressive.
That overall system, I mean, it's there's a reason why you saw that as a problem, and this is such an elegant solution.
It started with a tanzanite that I sold to Lyda Hill for the Perot. I had this big tanzanite that was this big. It was like that thick, and I would show it for a few years, and I couldn't sell it. And the reason was it was a little bit dark, and so to show the light, I would take a flashlight, and I'd show it here, but it only showed that little quadrant. And so I'd move the light up and down, but I could never make it all go at once. And so I had a bunch of collectors who liked it, and they were on the fence, and they didn't buy it because they didn't do it. And I'm like, okay, I got to find a solution. And so I talked with Lauren, who made traditionally our clutch mounts. I'm like, what can we do with lighting? And we did a lighting project for the Eyes of Africa, which Lyda also bought and is one of the main attractions at the Perot Museum now, and where we applied lights to it. And I was like, what if we do something where we make like an armature and we put the lights in it? And that was the first thing. There was actually an encasement with lights in it, and the crystal went into it, as opposed to just putting lights on it. And when we did that, it lit up, and we were like, oh my God, this changes everything. Lyda bought it when she saw it like that, and she had passed on it the year before, and then she put it in the Perot, and then that whole community was like, why didn't you sell me that? I would have bought that in a hot second. I'm like, but I offered it to you. You couldn't see it. And the truth was, I get why they didn't do it. They couldn't see it. So this is an evolution in display, and it's fun to note, in my opinion,
That's
and
cool.
Acknowledge.
Yeah, you showed us some of those last year, but it looks like you've come quite a way since then.
Yeah, we're constantly evolving the process and improving it and making it better and better. This is worthy of note. You've probably seen a lot of this quartz coming out from the Himalayas in India. And this is, for me, probably the best example from that location to date. The size is impressive, to say the least. And we weighed this. It weighs 68 kilos.
Wow.
And the quality, the clarity, the sharpness, the luster, the composition.
The
The
inclusion.
morphology is really similar to what you see from Switzerland, but it's not smoky.
But it's not smoky, yeah. And there are examples with rutile that are just mind-boggling. This one has a little bit of rutile in it, but there are other examples from this area that are impressive.
And your usual collection of
Our little miniature
sweeties.
case, always have to have the little sweeties.
They're adorable and enticing, and ooh, that is a cute mematite from Melpius.
Yeah, that was supposedly the best one of the find. I haven't seen them all, but it's one of them. There's another one in the case over there on the bottom and the front, and it has a really exceptional transparency. It really reminds one of Sumeb.
But better,
Yeah,
because it's from Mexico.
because it's from Mexico. And they fluoresce like a hot orange.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty impressive the way they fluoresce. I didn't know mimetite fluoresced. And then we were playing around with it, and we were like, whoa.
That's why you should always run through your minerals with UV light, because who knows?
Some beautiful things here in these cases as well. This is
Okay, so there's
the
this.
front gallery.
A
Uh-oh.
huge piece from Bocona.
Yeah.
There. And you,
Is it labeled right?
it is labeled correctly.
Woo! I love that.
Yep.
That's a win. Mislabeling it with a large inventory happens.
Yes.
Yes, it happens with a small inventory too. But
Yeah, true.
it's more understandable with a big inventory.
So there's got to be a story with this titanowaddinite.
Titanowadigite.
Oh my gosh, tongue twister. Titanowadigite.
Try and say it fast.
Not gonna happen.
Well, let's do it 3 times. Titanowadigite. Titanowadigite. Titanowadigite.
There
We got it. Yeah.
Because it looks like it was one.
Yeah, let me pull it out.
Now
It's
it's two.
mineralogically very indicative of the circumstances that it was growing in and the forces that were applied in its environment. So here, you can explore. So you can see this crystal and this crystal were once, that was one crystal. And this is all recrystallized.
Yeah.
And so something happened where it was under stress and forcing, but then, fused still together. Probably it might be that the quartz, I don't know. I don't know which came first here, the chicken or the egg. It's hard to say. Do you have a hypothesis,
like
Peter?
Let's caught up with it.
You look at the cross-cutting relationships like we had earlier.
Like, if we look at the cross-cutting relationship.
The quartz is overgrowing the titanowadigite
Okay.
here. And then the question is, it looks, well, the feldspar is overgrowing it as well. It looks like there might have been something else between the feldspar and the wadiginite that's been leached out. But you've got a nice fracture coming through here.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like that's been rehealed too. So you've got some kind of intra-crystallization, whether it's just a piece collapsing in the pocket because it got too heavy and it couldn't hang on anymore. There was an earthquake somewhere that broke it loose, broke the crystal in half, but it was still while things were crystallizing.
Wow.
So
Okay.
those faces had the opportunity essentially to heal and keep growing.
Wow. Okay.
If you think about it, that's where floaters come from, because things don't grow in a vacuum. They grow attached to something,
Always?
fall off. Well, there's
They
some
don't precipitate just in fluid.
There's
and
some
then
argument about that. There's some things that probably grow in a gel, and
Okay.
then of course you have evaporites that grow in mud.
Okay.
But in a situation like a pocket like this, that's probably growing into free space,
Okay.
and then there's damage, and then it gets to keep growing.
Wow. So the environment changes whilst the crystals are forming, and that causes the
The environment
anomalies
has
like
to
this.
change very quickly because the science of crystal growth
Oh, this is something we were
suggests
talking
that
about.
things grow incredibly quickly.
Okay, is this
that-
all things? Because there's been all kinds of controversy I've been having this whole week about this property.
Yes, well, and it's probably not all things,
Okay.
but the ones that have been studied so far,
All lead to.
indications are that the crystal growth is happening very quickly.
And I will.
In all cases, you need low nucleation rate and high growth rate to get a big crystal, because the more nuclei you have, the more they're competing for the ingredients that make the crystals. So what you want is just a few seeds and maximum growth there, and all the indications are in most cases that happens quite quickly.
Very cool. So it's what is quite quickly defined as, like milliseconds or hours or
It depends
years.
on yes. For example, the
Of
work
course.
that's been done on the big gypsums at Nika, a crystal 1 centimeter across and a half meter long grows in a year.
Wow. Okay. In a year.
In
Yeah.
a year.
And some of the initial work that was done there said it was happening really slowly, but that was because they were doing it in a stagnant piece of water that was collected there. And then they put a single seed crystal in, and then they didn't get much.
Oh, they created actual crystals in situ in an environment where they could
Well,
grow
they-
by.
they were-
They took a seed and put it in a bucket of call it the pregnant liquor that's in the mine that's saturated with calcium sulfate.
Okay.
And then they knew how much the seed weighed. They let it dangle there for a year. And then they measured what it weighed after that, and they calculated how much weight it had grown, and then they extrapolated that over time to get to one of the giant crystals.
Wow.
And so that's how they initially did it. But what they didn't recognize is that this is a deposit that has an incredible amount of fluid movement, which is reintroducing new ingredients.
You're constantly bathing it in more food, so it has ways to keep growing.
It keeps growing, and it can go. It can probably speed up.
So systems that don't have that kind of replenishment of the growth fluid probably grow slower than ones that are
Constantly being fed. It's like giving a plant fertilizer all the time.
Yeah.
And not killing it.
Or a teenager hamburgers. If you only give them one or two, they're not going to grow very much. If you give them as many hamburgers as they can eat, they get to be my size.
They get big. They get to be your size. I was deprived. I was totally deprived. I didn't have nearly enough hamburger. Sheesh.
Oh, and this room is always just
Always fun. You know, it's become a challenge to pick which minerals we put in here because I've tried to curate our inventory in a way that it's all the same level. And that's, I think, slowly happening. And then it's a matter of what do you want to have where? What do you want to celebrate? So there's plenty of other cases in here in the house that, you know, I feel could be just as easily in this room. But, you know, there's always some highlights. And we try to make it so that each case has its own highlight.
So is this a citrine fodden over here?
It is. This was Herb Abota's. And he had it in his collection. He must have brought it out from Pakistan 20 plus years ago. And I bought it from him. I actually didn't get it from him. I got it secondhand, probably when Rob bought the bulk of his collection. I had bought some things from Herb prior to him selling the collection. And then Rob came in and bought the bulk of it. And I think this went there. And then I ended up buying it because I knew it was Herb's, and I kept it for a while, and it reminds you of an apple. You see the apple?
Oh, yeah, with the little top there.
So it's really fun, and we could clean it and remove the iron staining, and that was my initial instinct, but I'm like, there's tons of foddens that have just clear clarity. There's very few that have it where the iron staining is actually attractive, you know?
And of course, that crazy stack of the pyrites, or the fluorite, like a
this
cape of
little
quartz.
intense green emerald down here. Yep.
Another one of those fantastic Indian specimens.
The only trouble with this room is that by the time we get here, we know what's coming next.
Oh, boy.
And so, as good as these are, we know. I am delighted to see a big sulfide in here.
Oh.
Pyrite and sphalerite. I mean, they're not really in fashion at the moment, but that's a magnificent piece from Wansala. Studded with sphalerite all over the pyrites. It's just good stuff. Starburst amethysts. Another one of Daniel's Tourmalites.
Gotta keep your hair somehow.
Classic Shangbao.
I love the luster on that malachite up at the top.
Double bubble, toil and trouble. Cauldron, Rican cauldron bubble.
So,
now we get to the fun part.
Oh, because the golds weren't the fun part? I mean, this is
the vaults, as we do every year, which has become tradition.
The goals for...
I missed the first year of What's Hot in Tucson. I was boycotting because my brain takes a little while to process things. I'm like, what is this video thing? I was like, well, I don't understand. What you want to video us? What are you going to do with it? You're going to put it on that thing called what is it called? The internet? What the heck? And I think that was, what year do you know?
2007. I remember Wilbur and I were sitting with you right outside here, and we pitched you the idea, and you're like, yeah, sounds interesting, but I think I'm going to pass. You were very polite about it.
Yeah.
Well, he's always polite.
Thank you. I always try to be very polite and respectful. Well, then I saw it afterward, and I was like, oh, wait, this has merit. And, you know, then it made sense, and I just dovetailed in. So 08 to now, what are we looking at? That's 10, it's 12, it's 16 years?
15 years because you're out for COVID.
Yes, that's true. But did we miss COVID?
We
Did
did an online version.
Did online.
Okay, we did it online. So, because we were here in April and we did the show, a small group of us were present, but you weren't here filming, right? Because you couldn't even travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Whew. So this is 15th year doing it.
Whoa.
And it was only 1 year that we went into the vault and ended up in Vail.
You know what would be fun, what we could do in the future if it all turns out, is we could do a What's Hot in Tucson and go into the vault and then end up at the mine somewhere during a discovery. Wouldn't that be fun?
Just to be clear, I sign up now. Get it there.
I'm in. I like this plan. I will be happy to participate.
That would be hilarious.
Wouldn't that be crazy? That could be really fun. It could be anywhere in the world. I mean, we could try and do it in fun places. There's some opportunity in that.
Because a mile up a mountain in Pakistan, that'd be good.
Yeah, you guys can come. I'm about to release a whole video blog that I did for an entire day in my life in Pakistan, where I went from Skardu, which is already somewhat remote, all the way up to Haramosh. And Haramosh is one of these mountains that is not, like Bon, the area where the King of Kashmir comes from and everything like that. That's a relatively easy trek. It's not so hard. Once you get there, it's not very hospitable, but because there's not a lot of living quarters and amenities and things like that. But Haramosh Dasu is a whole nother level of like remote. It's going back in time, literally. It's wild. And so I tracked the whole day from morning all the way back to the hotel, and I bookend it with, you know, a negotiation, a failed negotiation, you know, like go seeing the mountains, understanding where these things come from, the conditions. It's really fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's going to be released in like 14 segments that are all like a minute to 2 long or 3 minutes long.
Whoa.
Perfect for Instagram. So you saw a teaser one.
Right, right.
And so those were the teasers, and the team's almost done. So, all right, you want to look at some stuff?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. I don't know what we're gonna find. All I look at is a bunch of white boxes with a bunch of numbers on it until I open the flat. So, I just know I thought about putting them in there. Okay, cool. So for starters,
Ooh,
we've
pink
got
poker chips.
pink poker chips.
Oh, where's my UV light?
Yeah, I wish I don't have one handy.
Those things go hot pink.
Do they?
Oh, they
Oh, yeah.
should, yeah.
Oh, let's see. I've got a handy UV light right on the table over here.
Especially if it's shortwave.
I don't know if it's shortwave or long. I think it's shortwave. None of those.
Darkest on steroids.
Well, I love how you have this paler color, and it's the strawberry ice cream sandwich.
All right.
The inner layer is significantly gemmier.
Oh yeah. There you go. It's like a pink orange.
Mm-hmm.
It's orange.
Yep, so if you want to get technical, most of what's doing that luminescence is manganese.
Manganese.
And manganese gives you the orange. And a little tiny bit of lead activates the fluorescence and pushes it a little more in the red direction.
And then once you get enough of it, it's almost like
Hot pink.
hot pink. Like,
So
almost
there's enough,
like-
if there's more lead content mixed with the manganese, it presents more red.
So the way I
Red forward,
describe
opposed to
it
orange forward.
is manganese is the ultraviolet luminescent activator,
Okay.
and lead is the sensitizer. So it's
Oh wow.
the lead is what's pushing you.
So it's the activator and the sensitizer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then you
Amazing.
have the inhibitor, which is iron.
Iron. And you
Iron is the inhibitor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't have any of that to deal with.
In all instances. So if iron was present, we wouldn't see the fluorescence.
Probably.
It could inhibit it. It might not eradicate
It
it.
would depend on whether the iron
We're
was
getting really.
depend on whether
This is like-
Okay.
This is crazy. We should be playing Scrabble after this. Shit. The inhibitor, the activator, the
sensitizer.
sensitizer, and the, what was the last one? We had 4.
Well, the quencher. I mean, the
Oh, there's a
iron.
quencher.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think that's a 5th. We missed one. This is the little brother to the other one, and it has the same. This one doesn't need all of the
Because
backlighting. And if you look at that, that is super brilliant blue cap. So this is the Antigonus pole, and that's the analogous pole from this pocket. And this is the first piece that I have from this pocket. There'll be more coming. And you can see it's totally included in the quartz. But the ones that are totally exposed from this pocket and that are more robust of the Antigonus are like the bluest blue caps you could ever imagine, on par with Pala.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't have the size or the power that Pala did, but they are so similar in color. And you can see this also likes backlighting very much, and you get to see that whole transition of colors.
With that, with the limpid quartz there too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's a good warm up.
Check this warm up.
Oh, so this is really nice because it's a testament to the development of what the King of Kashmir has led to. And the King of Kashmir has led to discoveries of aquamarines in the Shigar Valley, where they are able to extract things with so much more care that things like this exist. And what's unusual about this, what's spectacular, is not only do you have the amazing quality of the aquamarine with this blue color, incredible transparency, and on the contrasting matrix, but it has no flaws. So no repairs, no restorations. It's intact.
Wow.
And so that is sort of like full circle, you know, showing them, letting them see the results, and then them taking that on their own and applying it. So that's another very rewarding thing.
Teach a man to fish.
Teach a man to fish.
And fish well.
And fish well. And then this is spectacular in my opinion. You know, I have a certain affinity for these because of the fact that they come out, where I was exposed to them very young, from Russia, from the Puiva mine. But for Axinite, for me, this is the bar.
Especially the
So are these Manganoan? Is this Manganoan?
Yeah, it's Manganoan.
the purple.
Axinite. Yeah, they have that purple hint to them. I don't know if it shows up on the camera,
I
but
mean, in this case, it's almost like a burgundy color.
Yeah.
You're getting flashing back at you.
it's totally exquisite.
And just the scent
My
too.
fingers recoil. They feel like they're about to be sliced to ribbons because collecting axonite is
Very
just
dangerous. Yeah,
shreds you. It's like collecting razor blades.
yeah, they're
It's,
so sharp, so sharp. You can practically shave with them. Wonderful object. I love that. And I really appreciate it because of the fact that, you know, in my career, I started with Russia. I made 70 trips there in 7 years. So I was going 10 times a year. And, you know, I learned the language, and I spent a lot of time with material from all of the former Soviet Union, and I've seen lots of those. And that is
That one
in the top three, for sure. Swiss Gwindel. Always lovely. Quality of the quartz, the transparency, and the composition is just wonderful. And I love it that it's on the matrix.
Absolutely.
Gives it a lovely contrast. And this is totally weird. This malachite, I don't know that I've seen another one just quite like that. These little nodules.
You have to decide whether it's malachite or a raspberry.
There you go. And it's like grew on a little bit of matrix, and you can see the chatoyancy and the fibrous structure. But it's robust. It's not, you know, it's not like where the fibers are soft. It's very cool. More to come. There you go.
Oh,
That's
look at
nice.
aqua.
Look at the etching on this.
That's cool.
And it has like this cap.
And this makes it like a pseudoceptor.
It's a pseudoceptor, yeah. And it comes all the way down here and follows that path. It's very cool. This is Burmese. So this came out, the 3 crystals came out a couple of years ago, and we had gotten them. One is a massive thing like this. It's fabulous. And then there was another single, and then there was this one. Those were the 3. Fabulous things.
Great color.
Yeah, and very unusual for the location. And these are those mango quartzes, which the mineral, I always forget which gives them the color. begins with an H, Hera, somebody. I don't remember. It drives me
We
crazy.
had the same conversation.
We do every year,
Yeah.
and none of us know.
Right.
Which is sad because we've been so on point this year. We've had all the vocabulary. Now we lost it all. It's embarrassing.
That's right.
Lauren's using Google over here on the side.
I'm over here just being, because now it's going to bother me.
Voice site, maybe?
It is.
Ooh.
And that was before I finished it. I did not finish it. Yes.
Peter showing off. I like this particular one because of the transparency in the lower parts of the crystals. They're really gem instead of the opaque. And then the saturation of the color is really significant, concentrated just at the ends.
And the interesting terminations on the end.
Yeah, the interesting. You have almost this negative, which getting the speed of crystal growth is like hoppered crystals. Does this happen in quartz where the outside of the crystal is
Yes,
growing so fast?
absolutely.
So it's the same principle? Is that what's happening here?
It looks like it.
It looks like it. Okay, cool.
Grow faster on the edges and they just can't catch up.
They can't catch up. Is there a name for that?
Hopper growth.
Hopper growth.
Yeah.
It's a technical name.
Yeah.
Okay. Technically, it is a technical name. All right. I'm a little punch drunk, I have to say.
Oh my gosh, look at the pink topaz.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
that's a pink topaz,
that is a pink topaz.
Mm-hmm.
and it's large. I mean, that's at least 2 inches, just over, and it's of a really good caliber.
On the matrix. Wow.
Yeah, that's coming up. I have. There's another one that we have, and if you see that over there, we got to wait a little while for that
Okay.
one. We're going to share that shortly. But this is a wonderful example of pink topaz from Catalan, and this was a new discovery of sphalerite and galena from Mouson in Bulgaria, and the quality of the galena is just wonderful. I love this hoppered sort of hoppered. Is that right? Skeletal.
Skeletal works. Yeah.
Okay, skeletal works. Crystal habit that the galena expresses, and along with the really sharp octahedrons of
The
sphalerite.
reason why all of these faces are in line, they're all in parallel, they're all flashing.
They're all octahedral faces, and they're probably
No, but I mean, like, why
There's
are they
probably
over-
some crystal constraint because this
it's
is one
basically a big
cube.
composite cube.
Okay.
But it's a cool observation.
Yeah. And then this is a quartz that's under lots of twinning. I mean, you can see all these additional faces.
Whoa.
And so I wonder, I try to understand what's going on there. And I don't know. I don't know if that's a Dauphiné twin or if it's some really complex twinning. But look at all of these extra facets that it has. It's just spectacular. And I love that it's grown just like right on the albite. On like
And
a
with this
plate.
little late, with
Well,
the micas in there.
Within the next
Yeah.
year, you'll be able to tell because Carl Francis is writing a series of articles on twinning and quartz for Rocks and Minerals magazine.
Ooh, okay.
He's a major fan of Dauphiné twins, so
Locality? This is Tucson, Arizona. I'm sorry.
It's official, Daniel.
Don't give me sleep for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, everything can be possible. It's Pakistan. It's Pakistan. And it's lovely. And it's from Hashupi is the name of the mine. And they
easy
produce
for you to say.
easy for me to say. Hashupi produces
Are we
some.
ignoring that Aquamarine?
I'm sorry,
It's like,
I'm sorry.
I realize you
Lauren.
have a lot of them, but like that's just
Darling.
wow.
The little quartz growing right on the tip.
And the termination at the top,
I mean, look at
With
the clarity.
the clarity, but also matte, totally.
This is a systematic feature that I see on aquamarines from this region. Not systematic like it's on all of them, but it's common that you have this matte finish on the facets or the additional bevel faces on terminations of crystals, and then the flat, very lustrous one. And obviously you have all iterations of it where you have them. Sometimes they're all glassy, sometimes they're alternating. I've seen all kinds of fun combos.
And then it's so freakishly gemmy that you can entirely. I mean,
Yeah,
you could steal your fingerprint through it.
Yeah, absolutely. No double refraction though, so we don't have calcite going on. But
No. The structure's wrong for that.
Yes, it is. Or you want to tell us about that?
You just accused me of showing off.
It's true. It's fair. It's fair. You can hold back, Peter. You can hold back. There you go. You gotta admit, it's more fun. You should do this every year. Don't let me sleep at all the day before. This is what you get.
Oh.
This is another
The
example.
association.
Isn't that great with the schorl just growing right through the top?
Mhm.
I love
It's
it.
An example of cross-cutting relationships.
Cross-cutting relationship.
See, that schorl grew first.
It did?
Yeah, because the barrel the aquamarine is overgrowing.
Oh, this
So it
really
had to
expresses
be
that
there
well.
first.
So the fact that creates the notch. I was looking at this today on a fluorite from Clay Center. And you know those root beer colored fluorites, and it had a notch like that in it, which was caused by growing over the white celestite blade.
Right.
And so now it just
And it's
Yeah,
kind of got
like
its main
in my
point.
mind.
So they were interfering with the growth of that second species.
Got it. And so the aquamarine is later than the schorl and the albite.
Yep.
Do you have any guess of the difference? Like how much later? Like milliseconds or like a couple of million years?
Probably hours to days.
Hours to days. Okay, that's fair. Wild. And then a classic large manganite from Harz Mountains in Germany.
That's pretty cool.
Beautiful.
The luster
And
on that thing
got,
is freakish.
It's got topography. So many of them are just sort of
Yeah, sort of
plates that
mounds
go in.
and no isolation.
Yeah.
This has some really, it's cool. It has the large crystals and then all the little smaller crystals. Little guys sticking out. It's a nice one.
Mhm. Yeah.
I appreciate these very much. I think they're a unique discovery. I mean, there's no other manganite location like
Not even
this.
close.
Not even close. And so they're coveted. Unfortunately, black minerals are not always in fashion, and people lend to that. But for me, they're
It just
important.
means that when they're out of fashion, that's the time to get them, so that you have them for when they become in fashion.
Why are you telling my secrets? That's wrong. It's not good. Now there's going to be a run on manganites.
Well, everyone will know where to come. So it's
There you go. I bought them all.
Ooh.
This is really cool. So, you know, the recent discovery of Balmot. And this is cool. Let's see if this fluoresces. No. Hold on. Let me get a flashlight to show it a little bit better. And so I didn't even know this happened. So I bought a lot of this discovery, a lot of the greatest calcites, a lot of the greatest anhydrites. But this is the only barite that I saw, and I think it likes the warm light. Let's see. Yeah. So the calcite has a nice soft pink glow, but the fact that it has this barite on top that's totally doubly terminated, you can see that chisel point here, terminated all the way around with these glassy faces there on the calcite is totally unheard of. They called it the tomahawk because they wanted to hold it like this. But I was like, yeah, not a good idea. 'Cause that's
Wow,
way...
look at that piece.
So again, another dimension of what this mine is possible to do, Balmot. It's impressive.
And look at the size of that barite crystal, too.
Yeah. And for an American discovery and new,
Yeah.
it's impressive.
Well, it's testimony to the fact that we actually do have mines in this country. We have to look for them, but
We definitely
They're
have
out
to
there.
look for them. They are out there.
so
That's called color.
That has some color.
Wow.
That aqua is, what did you say, over a foot, right?
looks like
Yeah, just about 13, maybe a little bit more.
And
Beautiful color.
especially with that like added little sidecar coming off the side.
Yeah. Wonderful crystal.
Mm.
So you'll see another one that's, makes this look a little small,
Oh,
coming up in a little while. So
okay.
excited to share that.
Micro or thumbnail?
Yeah, thumbnail. Ooh, fun stuff.
ooh.
Classic, one of my favorite species,
With that,
dioptase. They never show up well on film. The green is just almost always impossible to capture. How does it look, Brian?
It's a little bit blue.
It's a little bit blue. Yeah, but Sumeb, for me, is still the bar, the isolation, the luster, the quality, the translucency. It
It's
just
a blinding white matrix that really brings out the color
it makes
to
it
the human eye anyway.
Exactly.
Not the camera.
And it also, you can see how gemmy the little ones are in between, and it just accents the big ones so much better.
It's fantastic. Wish I could go back in time. Talk about a discovery. I would have bought them all. Sadly, everybody likes those, so you can't.
Oh no! Yeah.
It's not Manganite. And then pyrites from Navajoon. I love pyrites from Navajoon. I think they're underappreciated, partially because of their abundance, because there's so many. But if you kind of see the forest, if you can see the trees through the forest, you can actually identify the special ones. And anything elongated I like, anything with twinning or strange habits are the ones that I fancy, and I look for those systematically and acquire them and then sell them over time, because I think they should be celebrated. And this is one of the minerals that brings more people into the mineral community than I think any other species.
And specifically from there, because everyone's convinced they have to be carved.
How did you do that?
How did you do that? And then you go down the rabbit hole, and then welcome to Wonderland.
Am I going to get chastised if I skip these? I'm joking. I'm not skipping. So this is scheelite, and this is fun because it's not from the classic location where the muscovite, scheelite.
Is this from the pegmatite?
No, but it's from the other side of the mountain.
It's from the other side.
So if you go to Pingwu and you buy and you find the scheelites that are the traditional ones that are the classic octahedrons with the orange color and even to red color with muscovite and cassiterite and aquamarine, they are all coming from one side of the discovery. And if you go up and over the mountain, they all have this very elongated shape to the crystals and this color, and usually a lot of transparency at the top. And so I've seen only a handful of these. It's a much less worked locality, and I guess probably more stingy. And so it's very unusual to have these examples. But once you see one,
amazing.
you just know that, that's that side of the mountain. It's very distinctive.
It's actually very similar to the color from the Cohen mine here in Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And also there's some from Pakistan that do this color?
Yeah, and some from Sonora, Mexico, too. But the Cohen is the most famous.
It is the most
real
famous.
Orange, red orange.
Really?
Yeah.
How big do crystals get?
What? That. Yeah.
Huh. When was that vintage? Like, well, how old?
No, I think that find was made prior to 1930.
Wow, okay.
So they're oldies.
Cohen mine.
Cohen mine. The
In
Dos
Arizona.
Cabezas Mountains in Arizona.
I know people would
That's
like to see
spectacular.
that. Yeah, that's great for there. And then this is fun. Rose quartz from Brazil on a blade
Yeah.
of muscovite.
Yeah. That fin coming out.
Mm-hmm. I love that one.
Gotta love a good pink rock.
I love a good pink rock. Pink rocks are great. So there we go. It's a nice group of minerals. There you go. Thank you. This is nice. I think you'll be pleased with this one. So this was collected by a friend of mine in Switzerland. Actually, it's French. This is French, sorry.
Wow.
And you can see this huge dominant gwindle with the second one there, and it just sits up proud on the matrix with the contrasting adularia. Really speaks to the aesthetics and the quality that this location can produce. And these are collected like at really uncomfortable places.
Yes, yes, dangling at the end of a rope.
Exactly.
You are a climber that has a collecting problem.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're a climber with a collecting problem.
What's interesting is they have opposite twists. Right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
this one's twisting this way and this one's twisting that way.
This one goes that way, and this one goes this way, right? Or is it an optical illusion?
Is it an optical illusion?
I don't know.
Have we teased ourselves?
Have we? I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause
That one goes that way. Or does it?
the answer is you can twist yourself around trying to figure out which way they're dancing.
They go both ways. I just had to, sorry.
Diversity.
Diversity. Oh my gosh. What has the world come to? Ooh.
Oh,
Another example.
look at how gemmy that is.
Garnets.
Yeah. And the shearl growing into the side through the
It
back.
didn't grow into the side. It was
Okay, it
overgrown.
was I'm never gonna get this right. I gotta get this. Cross-cutting relationships. My goodness. Sheesh.
Well, that's better than cross-dressing relationships.
Agreed. Although in today's climate,
Oh, my.
Laura's like, I'm trying to go. Oh, no. Isn't that fabulous?
That's fabulous. And there's just the accent of the garnets.
The garnets and the shearls
yeah.
add everything.
And it's not a total flurry of the garnets. They're just perfectly.
Yeah. And so that's a later generation because the garnets are on the surface.
Yes.
Yeah, except it looks like the garnets are actually partially overgrown. I mean, they don't come off cleanly off the surface, do they?
No, they're probably embedded.
Yeah. So
So again,
the aquamarine was still growing as the garnets were growing. So it grew up around them.
So the garnet pocket that I had years ago that became so famous, that's in the same issue as the King of Kashmir, where you have the crystals of garnets, and in the top you see these holes going all the way down. It looks like someone dropped the garnets in, and they're totally included
They
in there
inhibited the growth.
at that point.
At that point, so like the aquamarine crystal was, say, yay tall, and then you deposit your garnets on here. They start crystallizing. Now they get in the way of the next stage of the aquamarine growth.
But when it's so transparent and clear, it's happening so quick, it just seems like they're included within in the crystals. And the other interesting thing is 90% of them, the garnets were all on one level.
Yeah, so that would have been that, but that level would have been the top of the
crystal.
So it's like the top of the current crystal before it went and kept growing. Almost like a phantom.
Well, it
They
is. It is a phantom that's on a proto-phantom, call it that. It's on its way to becoming a phantom. It hasn't been completely
This is
sealed off.
so fascinating this year. I love this. I need to write all of these things down. You better be taping this.
Oh, wait, should I push record?
Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone like deep and then come back and been like,
Not deep.
not deep, not deep. Okay, fair, fair. All right. Ooh, some fun minerals. That's lovely. So totally different habit of gold. Leaf gold from the Red Ledge mine.
Mm-hmm.
Looks a little bit lighter in color than your eagle's nest, so I would guess the fineness on that is a little lower.
A little lower, you think?
Yeah.
The is that what you use? Fineness is a proper term
Yeah, it's
for quantity of gold.
1,000 would be 1,000 fine. That's 100%, or 1,000 out of 1,000. And so
Got it.
typically when they talk about gold fineness, it's out of 1,000.
Got it. This came from the Chesapeake collection, which was something that was purchased by Kirby Sieber, and then he had his gold collection, which Ian is debuting over there.
Right.
And this was one of the fine pieces from that collection. It's beautiful.
It's lovely to
Love
see
that.
it this close. The last time I saw it was in Switzerland.
Oh, did you?
Mhm.
Oh, did you actually get to see the collection in situ?
Yeah.
I didn't. This is one of my favorite things. I think I had this in the past and I got it back.
Oh, it's
But
just so cool.
This, for me, is the finest expression of a helix included in an aquamarine in history. And you can actually feel the expression on the surface. Like if you run your finger down, I mean, check that out.
Whoa.
And in between, there's like recrystallization on the little cracks, and then it goes totally disappears at the top and becomes a whisper inside. But then when you look on the top, you can see the ring of the last ring. I mean, that is stupendous. And this came out in 1972 from the Americana mine, which I've only found one reference to in literature, but it was also in the Padre Paraíso area in Brazil. And it was bought by the sort of me of then, a guy named Peter Drexler. And he was an excellent connoisseur of gem crystals and gem rough, and he did cut stones and everything. And he preserved this crystal in his collection. He's like 87 now, is still alive in Würzburg in Germany, and I was able to acquire this from his collection a few years ago. And it's just, I've never seen the equivalent of it for exhibiting that phenomenon, or not even phenomenon, that feature of a crystal. It tells what's going on. Yeah.
It grows in a spiral.
Yeah. Internally.
Internally, yeah.
Fascinating.
That's
fabulous.
that's just a fabulous piece.
That's a great story, Rock.
Yeah, that's a great story, Rock. Tells a very,
Pretty too.
yeah.
Well, stories can be pretty.
So this is Mexican calcite from Santa Eulalia.
Right. which has suddenly been transported somewhere over in Hunan or someplace like that.
Somewhere in Hunan, probably the Nandan mine in China.
Yeah.
And this is where the hexagonal property of these calcites is spectacular. And the luster and clarity. I mean, these are probably my favorite calcites that ever came out from anywhere. And previously it would have been Dalnogorsk, because made my bones going to Moscow and seeing all the material that would come over from the far east of Russia. And Dalnogorsk did produce amazing calcites, but this quality has trumped them. And the finest ones from this discovery, this is of that ilk, are just spectacular.
Well, I also
Totally
love how you end up with these. This whole little world that's
the dendrites that are going on inside.
Yeah, and then you've got these growth planes on the outside that, by being parallel,
Take off
right, to your termination, add this extra element to it. Just makes it feel like it's out of like Blade Runner or something.
Yeah, it's fabulous. So fun. So beautiful. And then this is an aquamarine from the Shigar area. And here you can see the top is also etched. So this is an example of the iteration where they do that. And it has these crazy tubes or etching patterns on the surface going around somewhat preferentially.
Are any of those tubes internal?
They don't feel internal. You should feel this. It feels like it's ready to cut you just by handling it.
Because
It's very strange.
You do
see what I mean?
You do see those tubes internally in aqua. And if you stopped this face, deposited some garnets on there, and it kept growing and it generated tubes, those garnets would be down there stopping that tube from filling in. So you get
The entire
the tube.
empty tube going up above the garnet. That's what was happening on those.
Yeah.
Got it.
But they feel like bevels, like facets almost.
Yeah, they're
To your
very,
finger.
it's very strange. Has a weird feel in the hand. It's very cool. And the color on this is fabulous.
And it's
That's really blue. I mean, which is interesting because this one is actually green in comparison.
Yeah.
Even though they're both aquamarine. And what's doing that? A difference in iron content or?
yes.
Probably.
I mean, so one of the things that they know they can do is they can take a lot of green beryl, and you heat it, and it changes
To blue.
this to blue because
So it re-centers the atoms, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's changing Fe like 2 to Fe3 or something like that. And by doing that, the color can be altered. Fascinating. Here we are. Ooh, fun. So this is from the Arikonga mine, and it's so reminiscent of Peytonera that it's like uncanny. It's so much the rocket pocket with the two different habits, which was classic in the rocket pocket, the longer antillogous pole crystals that had incredible like water clear transparency. The difference on this pocket and what makes it distinct are the twin herderites. So it has little herderites here and there dotted on the crystals, another one buried down in there, another one there. And so that's what makes it distinctive. And I love this. It has the beautiful albite, lepidolite in there, giving it contrast, and it has a very simple elegance. This is very.
So it has something for everyone. It is both an absolute it's gorgeous, right? Like it's just gonna showstopper. But then it's also got rare things on it. It's got a whole bunch of associations. You've got your matrix.
interesting crystallography.
And actually, that little blue guy there, if you really apatites,
Wow.
there you go, little phosphate just for good luck. It's fabulous. There's another apatite right there,
Yeah.
perched up.
Once you get the eye in for the blue, you can see them speckled through
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Some of them from this pocket had actually quite a lot.
Oh.
And I don't know if I have it here in the vault,
Do
but
the
somewhere.
apatites fluoresce?
Okay, now you're just showing off. Let's see. Hard to tell. Let me see that little guy right there. No, they do not.
Under that wavelength.
Under this wavelength. Fair. I don't have more wavelengths available easily.
You don't have much bandwidth, let alone
No,
wavelengths.
forget about wavelengths. I'm my bandwidth, my capacity, and after you guys walk out, I'm just going to lie on the floor. I'll just wait till tomorrow, and they can wake me up for the next day.
Look at that, Gwendolyn.
That's a pretty good twist on that one.
Yeah. Really nice. So that's what a gwindle is for those of you that might be viewing and don't know, is where quartz, instead of growing in a prismatic form with a termination on top, here the quartzes are almost laid on their side and stacking and twisting. And so the gwindle term, I don't know the origins of it. Do you happen to, or no?
Some kind of German word.
Some kind of German word.
Probably means twisted. It means twisted crystal in
It
German.
means twisted crystal. Sure. Please don't quote us on that. Yeah, twisted crystal. We had twisted sister, they had twisted crystal. And so you can see, if you look down this axis, you can see sort of how the crystal is twisting. And that's a feature it somehow lends to the transparency of these crystals. Often, a lot of time when you see gwindles, they're very clear, and they range in color from almost black to totally clear. And from this location in France, from Chamonix, is this Mont Blanc or Chamonix? This is Mont Blanc, I believe. Yeah, and Mont Blanc has this classic, just light, smoky color that has lavender touches. It's really pretty. One of my favorite locations for those.
Mm.
Here you go. Thank you. Whew. Oh, this is fun.
Oh, whoa.
So, we were talking about backlighting crystals. This is one that's worthy of that. Although, if you're looking at my side,
Yeah, I was gonna say, from this side,
so you get plenty of light, you don't need to.
But what's amazing though is there's almost a dark blue phantom.
Oh yeah, totally. I'll show you from the other way so that you can get it on camera. If you shut your lights, Brian, probably. So you can see there's that vivid blue center and then the teal with a touch of green on the outside. And someone coined that style Marty Gras tanzanite some years ago. I don't know if it was Steve Ulatowski, but I think he's the one I first heard it from. And it has, a lot of times they also have, after the teal, a little bit of green. This one's lacking in that, in having the green, and that's why they called it Mardi Gras, because of the multicolors. But this one is just so cool. And I mean, we're looking at a crystal that's nearly, gotta be like 700 grams, I'd guess, pretty much. I didn't weigh it, but that's impressive.
What happens if you turn the light on the side?
On the side, you get the
You
gold.
get purple. So what if you look down the seat?
I don't think you can get the C because it's so tall. I mean, we could try, but yeah,
No, you'd have to shoot it with too much light.
yeah. There's no way to.
We'll
I mean,
just have to settle for the two blues and the practically Guerrero purples. So.
yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, we'll have to.
That Mardi Gras Phantom is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. That is very cool. And then we have Morganite from Urukum. Always fun. And here, okay, so right there is a little world. Right on that step where the crystal paused, you can see an entire spray of tourmaline crystals totally included inside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an example of the...
The pause and the proto phantom, I think, was what someone tried to put earlier.
That's not photo. That's a phantom.
That's a phantom.
But yet it is still cross-cutting relationship.
It is.
Yes, that's right. This is the word that we're trying to get Daniel to say.
I can't say it. I won't be able to.
The barrel grew, the tourmaline grew on top of it, and then the barrel kept on growing.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
cross-cutting
just
relationship.
Just how you
there you go.
Did I get it?
Congratulations,
I got it right. Right.
Cross-cutting. Who knew? All right. Some little guys. So I love this.
It's just perfect.
It's just perfect.
Perfect little cabin site. Yeah.
Yeah. Cavensite's one of my favorite minerals because the color, I feel like it's so unique. I can't think of a blue that matches this blue. It's not linerite blue. It's not azurite blue. I don't know. I can't think of another species. And I like the simple one ball, one little ray, the white stilbites that are later generation grown on the smaller stilbites. It's just lovely.
There's a reason that material is so classic.
Yeah. And this is fabulous. I love the luster of these atomites this is Mapami.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the age of this discovery, do you know?
Well, the first,
Or did it happen over
the first big
series?
find was in the mid-50s,
Okay.
but finds continue to be made to today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
There's still very active specimen mining there.
You don't see all that. I don't see that much of that
You
material.
don't see much good stuff. Most
Okay.
of, I mean, as always, I mean, a few percent is the good stuff, and the rest is.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
That's 2 crystals
Yeah.
underground?
It's like one crystal going this way, and it bisects that crystal and merges at some point. This is Himalaya. So, very fun for a California tourmaline.
Great color, too.
Yeah. With that bottom green cap.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And then here's a good example of the twist. You can see that crystal. And they call this a open gwindle. And this is like semi-closed. It's open on both sides, but what happens when it's closed is this face of the gwindle, it's going like this, ends in a very sharp line without all the points going around. And that's what they call closed.
Yeah, sucres.
Sucres?
Sucre.
Sucre.
Because there's sucre means sugar,
Mm-hmm.
French, and
Okay.
there are little perfectly closed gwindles that look like these little sugar cubes that they used to use in France that have the same kind of tabular shape.
Oh, no kidding.
And so,
Because I've heard that term, but I never knew the correlation.
Yeah.
Huh.
So essentially, they look like sugar cubes. Man, can you imagine what would happen if you accidentally put your sucre into your...
Eric Asselborn had an entire case of them at Tucson one year. They were
Really?
spectacular, ranging from about this big to about that big.
Wow.
They were all complete sucres.
All complete sucres.
That color is
That's great color.
spectacular.
Jonas.
Jonas.
Classic Jonas.
Just
Doesn't disappoint after
No.
all these years. It's still Jonas. Beautiful crystal. Another dioptase from Sumeb. The contrast is what I love. The green and the white is just to die for. Unusually large twinned spinel from Burma.
yeah.
And then,
Weird twin.
yeah, it's a weird twin. It's like a flattened spinel. You can see
Yeah,
the
it's-
line right there, just barely, of the seam.
That's cool.
And then gold from Arizona,
Ah,
which is unusual. Not,
Graterville?
I believe this was Herbabota's. This is Prescott,
Prescott. Okay.
Bradshaw Mountains.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool.
oh.
You choose. Where do you want to start?
We'll start with the Mexico. We'll
Okay,
go with
Start with
Milpias.
Milpias.
Start with Peter's like, start with Milpias. What are you doing?
Look at that electric blue.
Yeah.
This is the pocket that produced the ultimate color for me. And it's pseudomorphed and then a later stage growth of azurite afterwards. So you have the original azurite crystals formed, the dynamics in the environment changed, and malachite replaced those. And malachite, when it pseudomorphs, often has a fibrous, chatoyant sort of effect that bounces light. And then later, a final wafer-thin coating of azurite grew over those pseudomorphs. And when the light goes through, it hits that chatoyancy on the malachite, bounces back, and gives you that crazy electric blue.
Which is why you can have crystals this big
Yeah,
and they're not Sumeb dark.
exactly.
There's actually a gap between the malachite and the azurite.
Is it really? Like a physical gap?
There's a physical gap. It's not thick,
Mm.
but it augments the whole electric.
Wow, okay. So it actually allows light to go and cross through, hit, and bounce back.
Correct.
Wow. This is a fabulous example.
Yeah. I gotta
Love
hold
that.
that one.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you keep that away from him from too much longer,
There's going to be trouble. And I got to be careful. Peter had way more hamburgers than me growing up.
oh,
And
look
this
at that.
is wonderful.
That
Malachite it's Jonas is still Jonas, but Malachite has a certain open brightness that I love, and then the contrasting matrices are
I think
just
the big difference is the terminations,
yeah.
right? Like the terminations on the Malachite, especially this style, they're so bright. And I think they're gemmy all the way to the tips, and you have that little last stage where it almost goes amber, right?
Right there, and then
Right
it
there,
goes
and then
almost
boom.
clear, and then boom.
And it just makes them
Yeah,
hot pink.
yeah.
They're just
They're
spectacular.
beautiful. And I love the blue tone to the Clevelandite. That's, it has that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that from many places well exhibited. Paginera did it a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, and that bluish tint really brings out the purple in the crystal, rather in a way that white would.
Exactly.
And that's a spectacular Malachite.
Yeah, I agree.
This isn't bad either.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't let Milfias hear all of the good things.
Anyone who's watching this that doesn't know, Peter does not like Mexican minerals. He's accumulated quite a few. We've talked about it. He has a problem. He doesn't really know which direction he's going, and we've talked about the collection. Might be for sale sometime soon. I don't know.
You have to go through it. She had
Listen,
more hamburgers than you.
I'm learning all kinds of new stuff with this new generation. Right now, I'm manifesting. That's a wonderful pyrite.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
I love the modifications and the striations and the little micro like cross faces that are on the edges of the crystals everywhere. It's
and
beautiful.
with these little sprays and florets of the quartz in there too.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Once a lot.
Juan Sala, exactly, Peru.
It
Beautiful.
just does pyrites and
Juan Sala does pyrite right,
yeah. No, it just did.
It does.
Understood the assignment and then it.
and it performed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And here's that other example I was talking about from the Arikonga mine, and there's all
the appetites.
Yeah.
Wow. There's bigger blades on there too.
Yeah, they're fighting to steal the thunder from the Tourmaline, and not losing.
No,
It's such a nice accent,
Yeah.
to have that.
it brought the sparkle.
It did. Beautiful.
Mm.
Love that piece. And then, that's one of those little traits that make it distinctive. So, like, every time you see one that has those things, you're like, that's from that pocket.
Mm-hmm.
We call that the green herderite pocket from Arikonga. All right. A few more to go. Oh, we've seen this before. And I've actually, the malachite is just outstanding. The fact that they're all standing individually and these are not repaired is remarkable.
Absolutely. Considering also what they do to them on their way out.
Oh, absolutely.
The thing that surprised me last time, is if I remember, they're all like perfectly oriented.
Yeah, they're all symmetrically in the same, you can see it if I turn it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to do is we're going to build a mount and we're going to actually have it in the showcase like that.
Yeah. So that parallelism simply reflects gravity.
Yes,
Exactly.
That is what we have arrived at, and Daniel has found a way to actually display that.
Well, we haven't done it yet.
Okay,
It's gonna be-
you are going
we're
to
going
figure out
to
a
do
way
it
to
next
do
year.
that.
When next
Do this
year when we
specimen
do this,
together.
that'll be there, and
Okay.
you'll see it
Backlit in its own special.
You don't need backlighting.
displayed in its own special way.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you guys the story of this piece? Like when I did the Masterpieces show?
No.
So you remember the Masterpieces thing I did in London where
Yeah.
we were invited and we were in the art gallery? And this was one of the pieces we put out there because it creates emotion. It evokes attention, right? And so it was in this showcase. And this very affluent family came in, and the two women that were there was a mother and a grandmother, and they were dressed up really nicely, and you could tell they were conservative, and they had two little boys, like a 6-year-old and like a 7-year-old, or 6 and 8, and they were in little suits and everything like that. And they were all standing in front of the showcase. And as the women turned towards the showcase, they go, oh, wow, okay, yeah, that's interesting. And the two little boys look up at the mother and the grandmother, and they go, we know what you're thinking. And it was hysterical. It's like one of those moments that you never forget. It was
Mouths and babes.
yes, it was so good. Never can forget. And the way they said it too, it was like, yeah, what you're thinking. This is really cool. This is Swiss, but it's not a Gwindal. It's just incredibly clear tabular quartz.
Yep.
I love it. Beautiful. It's French? Oh, sorry. This is French, and it's not a Gwindal. It's just an incredible tabular quartz.
Ah, the Alps did it again.
The Alps did it again. Wonderful.
The Alps don't know anything about those borders between Switzerland and France.
Exactly. They don't pay attention to those.
Mhm.
It's alpine.
Yes.
And then this is old from Brazil.
Wow. This almost
wild?
marbling
Looks like that,
effect.
that slag glass that they made stuff out of back in the 30s with the swirling texture in there.
And then having that just corona of the bright pink. I mean, that is a spectacular piece.
It's beautiful. Pink Corona. Could be the name. I like that. Wild mineralogy. That's what I love about minerals and crystals. It's like there's just so much. You just never stop learning. Cross-cutting.
And it's not just science, right? It's like the art side of it or the history side, and it's Wonderland.
It's Wonderland. Well, the history, the mining aspect, the science, the artistic aspect, it all plays together, and it's amazing when you get a little bit of knowledge about all those things, how it becomes like profound of how you look at them and appreciate them in a different way. I wrote an article that's hopefully soon to be published about crystals and the arts. I'll give you guys a copy.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically speaks to why crystals and minerals have always been in fashion and always been collected, but have not really been celebrated the way the best artwork, sculptures, paintings, etc. have been in history, and how they're catching up and why they can catch up now and why they couldn't catch up before now.
Right now, that's a fascinating read, and I look forward to reading.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah.
It's actually a very strong piece of literature, if I don't say so myself. So
This is such a fun one for us. I know that you're exhausted, but this is awesome.
it is. I'm sticking around because of the fact that you guys are enjoying it.
I recognize that piece.
You know this piece?
Oh, yeah. It
Really?
was John Barlow's.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh. Where's it from?
It's from the Potosi mine at Santa Eulalia.
And it's
I own the other half of that specimen.
no kidding.
Yeah.
It connects?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was a bigger piece of rock, and John came to me. It was for sale across the hall in the Executive Inn, and John came across the hall with this thing and said, what do you think? And I go, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. It needs to be trimmed. And he said, should I buy it? And I said, well, that's not something I can tell you, but I can tell you if I had your kind of money, I'd buy it. And, I was a starving college student at the time.
So how long ago is that?
Oh, that would have come out in 91, I think, something like that.
Wow.
And so
So
John
30
bought
plus
it.
years ago.
He bought it, had it
30.
trimmed, and then he sent me the piece that was trimmed off. Rather than
Wow.
recommended it.
Wow.
So, as
And
someone
it's
who is
Granite on aragonite?
No,
no, it's adamite.
that's adamite.
What?
If you hit that with your UV light, it'll go.
Can I hold this fast?
These things were called smadamites because people
Whoa! Hey now.
between Smithsonite and
Hell
adamite.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew? Damn. That is cool as hell.
So I kept
Okay, here you go.
hearing this story about this specimen, and now I get to see the other half.
It's the better half by quite a good deal.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'll be honest, I've never believed him to say that like he liked the other half better. Now seeing it, I understand.
You get it?
Now I also really want them to like rejoin
It
forces.
really like fluoresces. Like, does all adamite do this?
A lot
Yes.
of adamite does.
Really? Okay.
Typically, well, it's uranium that gets incorporated to adamite that gives it that color of fluorescence. And so, but microcrystalline or crystalline aggregates tend to fluoresce better than crystals do.
And it has a beautiful color all on its own. It's
Yep.
such a soft. I saw it and I was like, I don't know what this is exactly. I thought it was Prenite initially. And I thought it was African.
I'm. Do you?
Do I want to hold it? I haven't held this thing for 40 years.
That's awesome. Hell yeah, I want to hold it.
Ben Kenobi quote.
The beautiful spiky aragonites. There were also balls of the spiky aragonite that came out,
Wow.
but just had a few little
So there
blobs.
weren't many that had the adamite.
Not so.
This is easily the best piece out of the pocket. I mean, I have a miniature about like that, plus the other piece
Plus, so you have
came off this end. But yeah, no, there weren't.
There were
It
not
was not a
many.
big find.
Wow. Love that.
You too?
Love learning this
It's even
history.
better that you didn't know what it was.
I did not. I swore I was going to be like, it's Prenite from Namibia. I got it, and I didn't have to. Yeah, you can. How much is that? How much is that? I mean, Prenite from Namibia. That's a lovely Afghan. Kunzite.
Great color, but sorry. After the adamite.
All right, sorry. You got shown up. I'm sorry. It happens. Things happen in life. That's one of them.
Which all the viewers are like, what just happened?
Like, what is going on?
It's the first time I've ever seen that interaction.
Yeah. So these are blue diamond crystals.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Totally. That's where we're going now.
That's where we're going. So this is really fun because it's only one pocket that I saw this, and it's Chinese. So these are celestites on calcites.
Those are stunning.
Yeah.
That thing just glitters.
Yeah, it has a great glistening.
It's like a dress at the Met Gala.
Yeah, it's exactly. Taylor Swift still bejeweled when she walks in the room, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. I mean, I think everything's a letdown after the adamite. Jeez. Let's see. Let's move this over here. Okay, so I mentioned before we had the pink topaz.
And now you've got the pink topaz.
That
is, I mean,
That is seriously pink.
that has color. So much color.
May I hold it?
Yeah, of course, by all means. And that's Catland. I think, there are one or two from Oro Preto that compare with this for color, but I think there's more from Catlang that hit this color than even Oro Preto. And obviously the majority of Oro Preto is orange. Yellows, oranges, and some get to this color. Some get even better color, but I've never seen it in a crystal. Only in a cut stone.
Isn't jeans purple? More Breto?
Jeans is the small one with the two crystals on the matrix. Which one is jeans?
Yes, he's got that one, but then he's also got the singular purple.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't remember which one. If I see a photo, I might recognize it.
oh, I love. I mean, when Topaz does this,
Yeah.
it just
That's
it
the
knocks
best.
your socks off. It just.
I love it.
I can see why.
Mm. Look at that color. It's just like
Just
mind-boggling. Not many minerals do that. that color. I mean, purple adamites would fall in that realm. The best ones,
Yeah.
right? And
And
those are mangan.
Yeah, it's manganese, and the ones that do it the best are the ones that are on a white stage of adamite to begin with.
Right.
So the purple just comes
Right out. And is there an activator or a...
It's not fluorescence you're talking about.
Okay, so that doesn't apply.
Yeah, it's manganese that's
It's
doing
just
the color,
manganese that
yeah.
gives the color saturation.
That's an amazing piece.
These new boxes we had made are so tight. Here I wanted to highlight this as one because it has this crazy calcite flower.
Oh wow, they're just perfect rosettes.
Yeah, so cool. And sitting on the purple fluorite. Classic Yaogan Shen. Beautiful.
The symbol is?
Thank you. I'm too tired to remember it. Vicinale in Italian.
Yeah, that's just
Not
a beautiful
beautiful.
piece.
Yeah, I love the composition of this. And then this is from that discovery in Mouson where you had these incredibly sharp
Oh wow.
sphalerites.
Yeah.
And I would argue that those are vicinal faces as well. And you see those stepped pyramids and the crazy luster.
Yeah, but some of that is twinning.
Some of it is assuredly twinning. You can see that
Yeah.
one toom there.
Well, but you can also see these parallel lines across the face.
Yeah,
That's
that's a result of twinning.
That's polysynthetic twinning, very similar actually to what plagioclase does,
Oh, wow.
but it's doing it in sphalerite.
So cool. So this was really exciting. And I love this.
That's just adorable.
Isn't that lovely?
That's just, it has
So
a perfect-
unusual that you get those at the right proportion and with the red cores and the
Mhm.
glassy luster. I love that. And then lovely sulfide,
Mm.
pyritite, from Dalnogorsk,
Of course.
all
This is
crystallized.
back to Russia and
Brings us
beauty
back
of
to Russia.
yeah.
Back to the origins. I always love pyritite. I guess that's why I like sulfide so much in black minerals, because Dalnogorsk, has produced some of the greatest sphalerites, pyritites, ilvites. Is it
Pyrite pseudomorphs after period.
Pyrite.
lots of
Which you
beautiful
also
things.
see in Santorlalia, which is where the Adamite's from.
Mhm.
You s-
Speaking of manganoadamite,
Oh, that's yeah. There you have that earlier stage white with the later stage purple. With
These
that
have become
color that's like that. topaz.
unobtainium. You just cannot find these at all. This is not the highest level of saturation. It goes up probably triple this, easily. But even this is already, I don't see examples like this on the market almost never.
Especially with the good coverage.
hmm And then I wanted to share this. So where is this from? That's an indicator that it's not from where you think it
Yeah, no, which then makes me, I mean, I would have said India, but no.
It's not.
Patterson, New Jersey.
Ooh, boom. Peter knows. Yeah, for New Jersey, for a zeolite, that's
That's
fabulous.
unbelievable.
Hewlandites on
amazing.
datalites. I absolutely love this. I mean, so for Patterson, and this is a very old piece. This was in Bill Bukowski's collection, and we acquired his collection, which was heavy in New Jersey.
Mhm.
And this is one of my favorite pieces from that
Yeah.
discovery.
For obvious reasons. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the glistening Hewlandites, and I mean, on par with India, and unique enough that you look at it and you're like,
something
It's not
doesn't seem quite right.
yeah. And I'm not going to show everything in this box. I'll just do a few in the spirit of time because there's some other.
This is Malling.
Isn't it awesome for
That
that?
is spectacular.
Say Yanathara, but Mali
The-
makes sense.
Geometry and the sharpness with the matrix. I mean, we've seen so many that are loose and then
Yeah.
they get all beaten up because they roll them together and they're just. And this actually is preserved because it was on a rock. I think that's fabulous for the geometry
So
of the
sharp. And
species.
the color, especially when those things when you light them up.
Yeah, it's awesome. Unfortunately, for some garnet snobs that I know from Italy, they just won't accept this because they like spessartine and its transparency. But, I appreciate it. You did. Marco did.
If I could have had the camera on your eyes.
When I made that comment. And this is fun. This is from that famous discovery at Sumeb where you have the Azurite on the Smithsonite.
Mhm.
That combination, that contrast is just, I love that. And I've only seen a handful of these, maybe 3 or 4 specimens, including the very famous one that was Bill Severance's.
Mhm.
Skip a few there. We have 2 more flats like that. And then we have 4 more pieces after that, and we have done What's Hot in Tucson in 2025.
Oh my gosh, look at those sites.
Yeah, these are cool. That's not why I bought the box, but they're definitely worthy of note. For Morocco,
Mhm.
those are outstanding, and I love the twinning.
Yeah.
The double twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triple 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yep, 3.
That's fabulous. And then here's a good example of a single one, obviously from the same discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. But this is what I wanted to highlight. You know, these Pakistani celestites are really, they have potential. Most of them don't really have a good, strong luster, but some do. And this one had really the nicest luster I've seen so far from the discovery.
And great color.
Yeah, great color.
And color zoning.
Yeah. Originally, unfortunately, some dealers bought them and they were told they were blue herterites. And they spent a lot of money on things that unfortunately turned out to be celestite. But despite that, they're still gorgeous.
Mm.
And there's other lovely things in here. Varenonite, very rare. I don't remember the chemical composition. You know what varenonites are?
No, that's why we have Mindat.
That's why we have Mindat. But this is an excellent crystal of the species. Really fabulous. And then I have one more box, and then we're going to look at some other minerals.
Your clown car continues to produce.
It does.
Mm.
This is fun. This is Walworth. Not Walworth, sorry. This is Penfield.
Oh my
So it's classic for Penfield because it has the yellow tones on the borders. I don't know if you
Mhm.
can see that and if it's coming out, but it has the light purple, blue centers, and the luster and the clarity from this location is just fabulous. One of the places that is so hard to collect, the rock is just so hard, and so a lot of the pieces that are found end up broken and destroyed. So when you see a fine crystal, it's really a treasure. And then this is great. This is from Schwanning, and I just love the rhodochrosite, almost like a peach color.
Mhm.
Very different from another one from the same place.
Look at that combo.
Yeah. Now we just
That's a
need
great
we
strawberry.
need to put this color into that piece and add Miracle Grow and get it this size. And
You're swapping your boxes.
oh, thank you. Voila. All right. So these are some of my impressive pieces coming up.
Wait, that wasn't the impressive pieces?
Well, those were impressive.
But this is now the like.
This is now kind of like
This is like we're building up to
we've been building up. It's kind of a crescendo. I think we know we do this every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the.
Just one more thing of a mineral.
It's-
There's just one more piece
Yeah.
I want to share with you 4 times. I'll start with this. Okay.
Holy cow.
So, a testament again to their recovery methods improving with time from the area, the same area as King of Kashmir. You have an incredible aquamarine on quartz with feldspar and some schurls, and that has, as we'd say,
presence.
That has presence.
Serious presence. So you say the area, but this wasn't from the same pocket?
No, definitely not the same pocket. It came out a different season, and it is from the area. It could have been the same tunnel. We don't know. But essentially that area, that mountain range,
Right.
the
Yeah,
gone,
I've seen
which
the
they call it.
pictures.
You've seen the
Yeah, it
pictures and
looks
everything.
like Swiss cheese.
It could be any one of
Yeah.
those holes,
Yeah.
honestly.
This is
Baja, which is where it's gone, on the gone side?
You know, when we take the bridge,
Yeah,
that's from me to Born
yeah,
on the right.
on the right.
The bridge, not on the left.
Okay.
So you see,
You see
you
the
have a
little-
perfect,
Yeah, see,
you have a
that's what I'm
perfect
talking
tube
about.
that's coming to the surface.
So
And
something's
it's all-
included down there,
Well, it not
or it could be,
necessarily.
not
but
necessarily. It can also happen.
It can happen by itself, but based on your description of how they're above the garnets, it just interrupted growth.
I love this side from where Peter's standing. I think that's the most. It has the most
Yeah,
impact.
we've been sort of hogging the prettiest side of it because we've just been basking in its glory.
But you know,
Where the quartz is set up like that with the feldspar on top.
it's got that incredible hexagonal shape carry straight through.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It's an important aquamarine, for sure.
Yes.
On par with the best in the world.
It has all the pieces that you would dream of.
Yeah.
It looks like I used to make a joke, like you have the little
There's my arm.
miniature that's just absolutely perfect aesthetics. You'd be like, I want an enlarged ray. So you found an enlarged ray, or the Earth did. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah. Well, we started with showcases and then did photography and backlighting. I mean, it was a natural evolution.
To
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids turned into Baby, I Grew the Mineral.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that great?
That is a wonderful piece.
Yeah.
oh my god.
You see how snobby they are? It's a decent rock.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, sure.
You're spoiled. That is,
Bicolor morganites.
it's fluorite.
It's Fluorite.
Really?
Oh, touche.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Dr. McGock gets stumped. It's a wolfenite, you dummy.
Yeah, I mean, for Mexico, that's a damn good Fluorite.
Yeah.
Shigar Valley, which is different than Nagar, where a lot of the pink fluorites come from there, and the twinning's very different there. It's like a heavily penetrant twin with the cross faces, like showing all of those striations. It's really cool.
I mean, it really is trying to masquerade as a morganite.
Oh, yeah.
If I hadn't seen a
Absolutely.
small one 2 days ago.
Ooh. You wouldn't have known either.
I mean,
Well,
but this is just,
and this is fun because this piece started off about 1.5 tons collected. So it was
Oh my
3
God.
times the size of this table that we're looking at. And this is the heart of the piece,
Mm-hmm.
which I can share some footage of that with you as it was, which you could want to pepper in if you like, because it speaks to, again, their techniques of recovery and how they're taking out massive things to protect crystals now.
that's amazing. And also, especially considering the train they're taking this out.
Yeah, the terrain is inhospitable, to say the least.
I love the growth faces on this surface right here.
Yeah.
That is
Fabulous, right?
You stumped the child.
Yeah, we got it.
readjusting my
Recalibrating.
my pink fluorite appreciation.
Okay. All right. Prepare to be tourmalinated. So almost all of these crystals are like totally gem clear. I mean, you can see this is flawless from top to bottom. And that's interesting because, again, here the techniques for extraction are getting better in Brazil. And around the globe, there's a movement towards understanding the value of these objects and doing and taking different precautions and going through different lengths to preserve them more and more and more intact, because the world has caught up with understanding the values, which speaks to that article that I wrote of crystals and the arts. And because of that, we're seeing objects that are defying our previous preconceptions of what we know about different species. And obviously it takes the right, the right brew, the right recipe, and all of the right ingredients to form some things like this. It doesn't happen. It's like,
But then it has to survive the human element.
exactly. And that's happening more. So the serendipity of having the almost a global understanding that these things are precious and should be celebrated, along with modern technology, is leading to the preservation of what would have been finds that would have been heavily destroyed in the past. I mean, imagine if San Francisco was extracted with time and equipment and today's technology, how many great wolfenites would have been preserved.
Mm-hmm.
I credit Brian Lees to a lot of that and Collector's Edge because he had a lot of foresight and was really, I think, one of the pioneers in really doing that in the modern day, using different technology. And that's what's inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used that to try to infect the world, to say it in an honest way, so that things like this can be preserved.
That's just spectacular.
And I noticed it happening at Paganera when I started, and I was like, whoa, what are you guys doing? You need to change everything about the way you're collecting. And so if you look at the early pockets and the later pockets over that span, the later pockets were way more intact, way fewer repairs per crystal. And then you get to this where like probably 80% of the crystals have one repair right at the base and not hundreds of lines through the crystals. I mean, I used to have from Paganera a crystal that's like 6 inches like this, have 12 repairs in it. It says 1.
That is a big difference too in terms
Yeah.
of just preservation of the gemminess.
Absolutely.
Nothing else.
The optical continuity of the crystal,
Mhm.
which improves the quality and the look. You still have to have the right recipe and the right environment, though, because like all of these, and that's why I think there's such a huge quantity of aquamarines in the market now, because they're producing more, they're preserving more. There's not just single crystals. When they're not single crystals and they're under matrices, they're not being cut into gems as much or used for beads or what have you. And then the thing is, you still have to have the right occurrence to create something magical.
Mm-hmm.
And like the King of Kashmir or the aquamarine that I just showed you, those pieces defy the odds of what geology itself can produce. And then they get preserved. Whereas a lot of the other aquamarines that are being produced, there's just a lot of them. And we're seeing them on the market. Everybody has them.
Mm-hmm.
They're nice, they're beautiful, and they're collected, but they're not on par with those one-offs. And so it's great to know that there are more examples available to the community in lower price points and of fine quality, but then there is that chance for once in a blue moon that if they do find it again, it could be preserved. I don't know that King of Kashmir will ever be duplicated. That was a very rare scenario.
For so many
There's
reasons.
so many reasons.
Just starting with the geology of the number of features that had to line up perfectly to create that. And that's before you add. And this little bow tie.
Yeah, I love that.
Just
Another-
perfectly on top.
I don't know if that's quartz or...
Can you
No,
just
that's another
confirm
herder.
The top
Yeah, if you go
line?
up, Brian, and come down over it, you'll see the crisscross applesauce twinning.
Both of them. That one too.
This is a remarkable object.
Absolutely.
And telltale to the pocket, if you look down on the little lepidolites, you can find little blue apatites snuck in here and there. Hard to see on this one. It has less of them.
And Brian, you should come to my angle to look down at the bigger of the herderites.
Cross-cutting relationships is the theme of this year's...
Well, and statistical aberrations.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now you lost me.
No, you're saying there's lots of normal art variety material,
Mhm.
and then you have these one-offs,
Statistical
which
aberrations.
are
I love
aberration. They are so far, so many standard deviations
that. Away.
away that they are
Outliers.
they're extreme outliers.
They're extreme outliers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another article. I want to write an article about the Vishnal faces. I think there should be one and do a talk on cross-cutting because it's a fascinating topic. You could spend an hour on it. And then on the rarity of minerals on the planet and correlating that in. So like out of the entire 100% of the Earth's crust, I think 1% or less is mineralized. Out of that mineralized percent, there's a fragment of that 1% that's crystallized. And then if you look at that crystallization and you look at it per species, where there's only 5 important locations for, say, rhodochrosite in the world, or 2 or 3 important locations for atomite. And then you look at those pockets that came out historically and produced the one-off example of that. There is a mathematical equation that sits there that you could track, and with some pretty easy calculations of estimates, and I'm sure that we could come up with like a percentage of how unlikely, how like an infinite outlier some of like the finest examples of the mineral species that we know historically, that all of us acknowledge as you know, icons in the industry, how rare those things are. It was.
I did a blog post on just aquamarine with that. And I think it gets down to 10 to the negative 33.
Wow.
But that was for like, I just did it based off of aqua.
Fascinating.
And that was, you know, before all the crazy stuff.
Right.
But nothing like what you're talking about is much more in depth and by pocket.
Brian, you might want to get that there.
Gosh, the color.
I don't know if that, even though you have that background of the other minerals, if glowing through is attractive or not.
I just get the top ones.
Okay. Crazy, right? All right. 2 more. So this is a testament to, again, incredible tourmaline. There was one pocket from this location. There's been several pockets from this location, but one pocket really had the really rich and strong, vibrant color. We saw one earlier. It's Malachite, and this is an example that is just extraordinary. For the size and the combination and the terminations, this is just phenomenal.
It's just, the color on these things are insane.
Yeah. If you come from the overhead, Brian, and you look, and I'll tilt, you can just see the richness of that color. Totally spectacular object. And this is an outlier. So for all the pockets, everything that came out over a course of almost a decade now, since this mine has really started to amp up, and it's fizzling out. There doesn't look like there's going to be more. These were 2 pieces. The next one is also from the same pocket that have been held back. They're not in the mineralogical record issue about them. They're not known by the community. These are extraordinary.
And I think part of what does the colors, because you have that deeper core, then you have the amber, and then that last stage.
That last little.
But then it means that when you look down it, instead of looking pink, it looks red.
It looks raspberry red. Yeah.
But it's actually even. It's got more of an orange undertone than that, so it's just like red.
Red. Yeah.
He's led us up to this, so we are even farther out the curve than we were before.
Holy cow.
Phenomenal.
Just.
The color is just stupendous. And it's as if they just placed them right where you wanted them. It's incredible.
Here's a great cross-cutting relationship here where it stopped the growth of this one, slightly broke it, and then 3 started afterwards.
Going
so
on
that
here
would
as well.
again suggest, since the color and the texture and the clarity of those are so similar, it would suggest that they are basically growing almost in real time, and that one has grown up slightly before the other, and then the other hits it, and then
hits it and
keeps
keeps
on
going.
past
Yeah, that makes sense. So this is happening.
the studies on pegmatite crystal growth suggest these things grow in minutes.
Really? So they precipitate.
Hours. They just Once the conditions are right for precipitation, it's just wham.
Wow. Fascinating. So there you go.
Look at this. Can you get the
Yeah, get the color on that one. It's,
oh, then there's another crystal in the back, because that wasn't it. That is one hell of a specimen.
That's one hell of a specimen.
Thank you so much for sharing this.
you've done it again.
Thank you.